Welcome back to the 2016 Mann Cup Final Series. We're here at the Iroquois Lacrosse Arena in the ILA Sports Store inside the beautiful Six Nations Reserve. Sam McDade alongside Matt Carrick, your tournament host for this entire series. Matt, let's talk about lacrosse. Let's talk about the first few games in this series. Six Nations takes game one by a big score. Maple Ridge comes back, takes game two by yet another big score. Game three, though, Six Nations in extra minutes. Were you expecting a game like that?
I don't think anyone was expecting to be where we are right now. The fact that Maple Ridge is hanging on, at least here in Ontario anyways, we thought kind of Six Nations was going to come in and run over this thing. But Maple Ridge really proving themselves. It's definitely, we can see that their defense is what's got them to this point, and they've really stepped up over the last couple of games. That's why we had the big score, like you said, from game two, and the tight battle we had last night, and looking forward to more of that in the same here today.
Well, in a little bit in our pregame show here on JVI Sports Network, we're going to touch on, what to expect in this game, but just one-liner, what's got to happen in this game?
Well, I got to quote the man, Austin Stotts. Great game. That's
exactly.
What we need today.
All right, well, another great game underway. We want you to vote for it on our Twitter poll at JVI Video. Scroll down just before the game starts. You're not going to miss anything right now. And vote for the team that you think is going to win in this game. We've been having a lot of interesting turnouts with that Twitter poll in this series so far.
Yeah, it's really... it hasn't gone back and forth yet. Maple Ridge getting a lot more respect as they have been on the floor, but still trailing Six Nations a little bit as we get closer to game time here for game four. But like I said, really starting to turn a lot of heads across the country here.
So again, head to our Twitter page at JVI Video and make sure you vote. But before we do that, we did an interesting thing in Game 3. We said a day in history. Let's do it again in Game 4. Day in history. It brought a good game last time. Let's see if it's lucky for this time too. 2001, the Coquitlam Adenacks. What did they do, Matt?
Well, they won the Mann Cup in Game 7. 15 years ago today, it was... They were down two games, actually, to the Brampton Excelsiors. The Coquitlam Adenacks were in that series, fought all the way back, forced Game 7, and we're actually down by a goal with a minute left. Dan Stroop ties it, 54 seconds remaining, 32 seconds left in the game. It was Colin Doyle night last night. We talked about him playing net. Colin Doyle night 15 years ago in 2001, out at the PNE in British Columbia when he won it, clinched Game 7 for the Coquitlam Adenacks, their first Mann Cup championship.
Well, you know what? We might exactly have a Game 7 series type of thing going on right now between Six Nations and Maple Ridge. But before we get to that, let's meet the people who are going to have the call. Steven Stamp, your play-by-play. Pat Gregoire, he's got color, guys. Go ahead.
Thanks, Sam. Matthew, I am Steven Stamp. This is Pat Gregoire, and I hope Colin Doyle is watching these shows. He's getting a lot of love. One of the great guys in the game. Always enjoy talking to him. CD7, if you're out there, man, great to have you along. If not, come on, get on with the program. Should be a good game. It was a great game last night. Instant classic, as you said. The overtime game. I didn't even realize till the end, as we see the highlights of that game, that it was back and forth as much as it was. It's like Six Nations scored a goal 6 times. Every time Maple Ridge responded and tied it up. It was unbelievable.
Yeah, the first 2 games were completely just, 2 teams going on runs. But this game, it was back and forth. Both teams replying. We both saw more of Six Nations kind of get some new guys into the lineup. We saw Craig Point get on the score sheet, and then obviously number 88, Cody Jamieson, was a big factor in the game. Obviously, also, I thought Dylan Ward played much better. He was obviously outshined by Frankie Chiliano in the other end. He was outstanding. I thought he really kept the Burrards in that game. But the Burrards did play a much tighter defensive game. They play that up-tempo style of defense, and it's the same thing on offense. They play fast, they play quick, and I really like the contrast between the two styles of lacrosse, which is made for a really good series.
I thought it was interesting watching that game and seeing, the Burrards are trying to get their transition game going. It's such an integral part of what they do.
Mm-hmm.
And, they love to run, and hopefully for them, they can get that going. But the Chiefs, from their perspective, you're hoping to stop that. And they've done a really good job so far for the most part. And in fact, Six Nations probably had more transition chances last night, but Chiliano, for one thing, absolutely stoned Ryan Benesh a couple of times.
Yeah. No, he did. Chiliano was, like I said, he was the X factor in that game to keep it tight. Obviously, the defense of the Burrards Another good effort. We didn't see that effort in the first game, but the last 2 games have been fantastic, really buying into that system that they play, the team first, high tempo, high pressured style of defense. We see overtime here, and just an absolute bomb from Austin Stotts. Picked the corner. He was fired up. He was fairly quiet for his standards, and then Cody Jamieson with the insurance goal, and Austin Stotts' celebration on that goal for Cody Jamieson was probably bigger than his celebration for when he scored. And the kid loves to score, the kid loves to win, and that interview after was nothing short of an instant classic. Everyone tweeting about it today. It was hilarious.
Oh, I love that interview, and obviously I mentioned he was channeling his inner Kimbo Squire. For anyone who's not familiar with that one, Kim Squire playing for the Toronto Rock back in the day. Jim Lang is interviewing him, and it doesn't go great in the locker room because Kimbo doesn't speak more than he really needs to, and had some pretty short answers. And then the last one, Jim said, "What are you looking for in the second half when you go out?" And Kimbo said, "Win the game." That was it. Yeah. it was great. Love Kimbo, love Audie Stotts, the enthusiasm and the fun. We're going to take a break. We'll be back with the Mann Cup Game 4 on JVI Sports Network.
Inside the beautiful Iroquois Lacrosse Arena inside Six Nations, Maple Ridge is going to take on the Six Nations Chiefs, and we've got the bottom half of your pregame show here on JVI Sports Network. Sam McDade alongside Matt Carrick as usual, but also Spencer Tangway. Spencer, welcome back to the broadcast. I think, what was it, Founders Cup since we last spoke?
Yeah, it's been a while. I mean, in Orangeville, of course, with the Founders Cup, now here for the Mann Cup. Finally great to join you guys once again. It's going to be a great game and a great series.
Well, you guys are going to kind of serve as my insiders and analysts for lacrosse, as you guys usually do. But let's talk a little bit about players to watch for you viewers here on our JVI network. So let's start off with Ben McIntosh for the Burrards.
Yeah, we talked about him off the very first broadcast. Definitely one of the guys they're going to rely on offense, that big outside shot. You can see what he's done through his junior A, NLL, and major career, 755 points, already 13 through 2 games here in this Mann Cup. Definitely a huge star for them, and a 2-time NLL champion with the Saskatchewan Rush.
Very interesting, as you can see at the top of your screen, a big addition to the team. Spencer, I'm going to ask you about Cody Jamieson, who made a dress for last night's game.
Well, you know what? Cody Jamieson's an all-around player, and he's not only an all-around player, he's a player that gets the job done at the right time for Six Nations. And not only, even though they're down 2-1, James is one of those guys that will really bring the crowd to their feet with his unbelievable hands, and his lacrosse IQ is through the roof. You have to watch out. It's anyone's game this series, I think, and we're going to look for a lot of key players to step up, and Dan Dawson's going to be one that you have to keep your eye on.
Speaking of people to keep your eye on, let's talk about the guys on the floor, but in the back, and Dylan Ward for the Six Nations Chiefs, Frank Chiliano for Maple Ridge. Let's talk about the guys at the opposite ends of the arena.
Yeah, look at the 2 comparisons there. In Game 1, Ward got the win, Frank Chiliano the loss. The win for Chiliano and Ward with the loss in Game 2. 3 backup goaltenders appearing in the first 2 games out of the 4 that were on the benches. but both of them really stood tall in game number 3, forcing that overtime. We're looking at the WLA and the Major Series Lacrosse Final Series MVPs in the net for these two teams.
Well, of course, and you mentioned the backup goaltenders, Jamison and Mulligan. Both these guys have to be ready. As you look at all those players to watch we talked about, the scoring power in this series is unbelievable. So you never know when the goaltenders are going to have to be called from the bench, but only 60 minutes will tell who will play in tonight's game.
And Matt, you made a great point about how, in the first game it was a bit of a blowout score in the Chiefs' favor, and, Ward had an impeccable game. And then the second game it was a big score again, but in the Berard's favor, and Chiliano had an impeccable game. And then last night, both goaltenders were fantastic, and it went to extra minutes. So that'll be exciting to see today who can definitely get the job done.
Yeah, in that Major Series final, it really took Dylan Ward a little bit to settle in. I think it was about game 3 or 4, right around this time in the series, where he just really stepped up his game. And we saw that last night as he just got locked in, and there was really nothing getting past him.
Well, Matt, I definitely want to ask you really quickly before we go to game time, what's this really nice piece of equipment behind us that I know a few of our viewers are definitely eyeing down?
Well, it's a new addition to the set, and I don't know if it's equipment. A lot of people out there, there's a big discussion right now about wooden sticks. This is an actual traditional lacrosse stick. Evan Cree and his crew put it together. It's got both team logos. I consider this a piece of artwork, this one right behind us here. You guys can discuss at home what you think, but it is absolutely beautiful, and we're thrilled to have it here on our set.
I was just going to say a piece of artwork. You took that right out of my mouth. All right, take a screenshot if you hadn't already of that artwork. Maple Ridge versus Six Nations coming up at game time in a few moments. Stick with us here on JVI Sports Network. It's game time here at the Iroquois Lacrosse Arena inside beautiful Six Nations. Game 4 as Maple Ridge is taking on Six Nations Chiefs. You can see at the bottom of your screen that Six Nations is up 2-1 in this series. So those are the teams to watch. Sam McDade alongside Matt Carrick, Spencer Tangway, my lacrosse insiders and helpers throughout this whole Mann Cup journey. Guys, what are you most excited for this game?
Just to see how they rebound after yesterday. The first overtime, the really first close game that we saw. The fans were energized. I think all the players started to get into it. We saw Super Selly from Austin Stotts at the end of the game. And, just interested to see how they rebound from such a tight one yesterday.
Well, as we take a look at the players to watch, Matt, just to add, it's such a quick turnaround for 3 games and 3 nights, as we'll take a look at 2 guys you need to keep your eye on tonight.
Well, let's start off with Riley Lowen. I think might be able to talk to him tonight.
Yeah, 10 points so far. I keyed on him yesterday. You can see the bigger body for Riley Lowen. Definitely one of those NLL veterans in this lineup, few and far between. They're going to rely on him for offense here.
And we're going to switch over to the other side of the floor. Austin Stotts for Six Nations Chiefs.
Of course, the youngest guy in this series, only 18 years of age, and he is a fan favorite here in Six Nations. You look at his points, 8 points already in only those 3 games, and once. He's not even legal drinking age yet.
You know what? I had the privilege to speak to him after last night's OT win. He said a great game is in store for today. Let's send it upstairs to Steven Stamp, Pat Gregoire, our play-by-play, and our color commentator with the call tonight. Guys, go ahead.
Thanks, group. Thanks, guys, in the studio. There's too many of you to mention, but we will keep rolling here. I'm Steven Stamp with Pat Gregoire, and a lot of fun coming tonight. As Austin Stott said, it should be a great game. Can it challenge last night's game? Who knows? The referees tonight will be Chris Williams and Terry Mosdell. Mosdell, the WLA ref who came east for it, and Chris Williams, Chico, we will call him sometimes. We're going to look at the starting goaltenders. No changes. Frankie Sciliano in net, outstanding last night.
Yeah, he was lights out. I mentioned how, Dylan Ward, we'll get to him, but Sciliano was, a huge X factor, really kept this Burrard's team in check and gave them a boost of confidence on the defensive end.
Dylan Ward, you see the numbers. He's just been excellent again. Again, a tough game in game 2. And he bounced back, played very well last night, especially since it's a challenging situation. We talked to him post-game saying, you didn't face a lot of shots. And he said, it can be really challenging when you're not busy to keep your focus.
Yeah, it wasn't just, he didn't face that many quantity of shots, but a lot of the shots were quality in tight scoring opportunities, which, he shut the door well. And I thought he did a fine job.
Thanks, everyone, for being here with us on JVI Sports Network tonight. We'll be back shortly with Game 4. If it's anything like last night, you're going to be riveted and glued to your computers or screens. We'll be right back. Welcome back, lacrosse friends, to the Iroquois Lacrosse Association. There is a very, very cool stick that was made specifically for this series, and some pretty neat stuff going on. You can see some of the gear there down in the store. Down on the floor, Paul Gate is in town, and interesting fact, we've been talking about Austin Stotts and how he's 18 and he could become one of the youngest guys to win a Mann Cup. Well, Paul's twin brother Gary Gate was maybe the youngest guy to play in a Mann Cup at 17 years of age. They didn't win it. He was brought up from the Esquimalt Legion to play with Victoria. But I did find out from Wamper Power, who is just a treasure trove of information, that the youngest man to win a Mann Cup, Bill Whitey Frick, Peterborough native, played in St. Catharines. He lives in St. Catharines. Okay. He won 2 Mann Cups and then won a Minto Cup. He was a goalie and defender, and he played in 44. He started. He is 89 years old, lives in St. Catharines. I tried to call him today. I couldn't get a hold of him. I will talk to him before this series is over.
That's awesome.
Let us know who you think should be the Thompson Brothers Lacrosse 3 stars of the game. Tweet us at JVI Video. We'll take that into consideration when we are making our selections late in the game. Jeremy Thompson, one of those Thompson brothers, is on the floor, and he will run back to play defense as he was called. No, he's going to go to the bench as he was called for an illegal move on the faceoff again. If you're just joining us for the first game, CLA rules in effect instead of the rules these guys play with in the summer where you can lock. You can just clamp down and battle for it. You have to pull straight back on the draw, and it makes it tough. You see a lot. It's the first save by Dylan Ward on the quick stick backdoor by Mike Mallory, and here come the Chiefs the other way. But it's a change for them, and they're still taking a little adjusting. Dane Smith with it over to Austin Stotts. Dan Dawson, who is leading the tournament in scoring. Banesh tries to go behind the back. Looks like Colton Porter will get to the ball. Protects it nicely. A little help from Clay Miller. And here come the Burrards.
Big fan. I've said it so many times. The Porter's just doing a fine job on loose balls, bringing the ball up the floor, and bring just such a sense of grit onto the floor.
So much energy.
Yeah.
just going constantly.
Spark plugs. Absolute spark plugs.
Here comes Dan Taylor driving to the net. That one stopped. The ball's on the floor, and you see battles. Luke Gillespie gets it and scores. Gillespie sat out game 1 as they tried to get some big bangers to make some space. He makes his own space right there with the gritty, the smart loose ball and fires it home.
You know what? When I heard that they were looking for more bangers and crashers, and he was out of the lineup, and then you see him how he played in game 2, he must have taken that to heart, because not only is he scoring, but he's doing the little things, getting his nose dirty. Not too sure what's going on with the replay there, but it's all right. He picks up that loose ball there, and he's, like you said, creates his own space. I think he's obviously he's showed his scoring touch, but boy, he can do all the little things as well.
And I guarantee you that National Lacrosse League teams are taking notice of that free agent and seeing what he's doing here. He could find himself in a camp sooner rather than later. Well, it'll be a while because camps don't start for a bit, but he's going to be getting some calls. Ryan Benesh lets one go. He loves that far post. This one's off the outside of the post, no, not the inside. Chiefs will get the ball back. 3 inches the other way, and he's got it. He was shooting for the NLL net. In case you're not familiar, there's a shot by Point. He is a bomber, but Chiliano stops that one. NLL nets are 3 inches wider. They're 4 feet tall, 9 wide. The nets here are 4 by 4, 6. So it's always an adjustment at the beginning of the summer for these guys when they come back. Here's McIntosh. Tries to tuck one on the far side. Ward just gets a bit of it. Sid Smith comes up with a nice little play to roll it over to Brody Merrill.
Thought Sid Smith, he deserved the 3rd star yesterday. He got it. But, boy, when it got late into that 3rd period and overtime, he was a rock for this team on the defensive end.
Stotts backs it down, then over to Dane Smith. That one comes straight out to Stotts. He fires. Chiliano's all over that one. And you see the goalies freeze, obviously. Is he? He's out there? Okay, so Dan Koch is drawing back in. Last night they were hoping he could go. Weren't sure if he'd be able to. That pass to Benesh doesn't get through. It's knocked right back to Dawson. It's going to roll over to Randy Stotts, 11 on the shot clock. And Zach Porter got a bit of that one. It still got through to Benesh. Michaud gives him a little bit of a shove, and that one goes wide. Creighton Reed will just let it roll out as the shot clock expires. We see Briar Jonathan heading to the bench there. And I went down and confirmed, I was pretty sure, but made absolutely certain before I shared with you that he is the grandson of legendary Boston Bruins winger Stan Jonathan, one of the toughest men in the history of the National Lacrosse League. Stan is expected to be here tonight watching his grandson. There's a shot by McIntosh. Brody Merrill takes off with the rebound. Chiefs trying to push the pace. He's got Dane Smith on one side and Austin Stotts on the other. Goes to Randy Stotts, who bounces it wide. Mosdell lifted his hand like he was going to throw the reset, then didn't. Austin Stotts looking to the trailer. Jamison skips it over to Dane instead. Throws it to, we'll see on the replay.
We'll definitely have to wait for the replay regardless.
We'll have to get another look at it. Lowen has it. Berards will try and bounce back from that one. Matt Symes has it. Speaking of guys raising their stock in this series, there's Lowen shooting. Symes is in this year's NLL draft, which will be on September 26th. I will be calling that along with Andy McNamara and Mia Gordon on NLL.com. So make sure you join in for that one, Monday, September 26th. Dane Smith shoots, saved by Chiliano. Creighton Reed, watched by Briar Jonathan, but he gets it off to Ben McIntosh, and now Colton Porter will head over to the bench. The Berards a little slow getting all their forwards out, and there's 17 seconds on the shot clock. Mallory slips through, but Merrill jumps on him just at the last second. A penalty coming to Sid Smith. Probably a slashing call on McIntosh as McIntosh cut through and Smith came over on him. Lowen with the extra attacker goes to McIntosh. Sub shot, scores, drops down, rips it off the near post and in. The penalty will be canceled, but the Berards will happily take the goal instead.
Yeah, they'll definitely cash in, especially with how much of their power play actually has been struggling throughout these 3 games, 4 now so far, but a great outside rip. Seeing a lot more of these outside chances in the last 2 games sink, and a good shot there. Dylan Ward did get a piece of it. I don't think that's his fault. I think that's just a good shot, a good hard shot from the outside.
Oh, yeah, it's a terrific shot. Scooped up by Owen Barker. Another guy who's raising his free agent stock for the NLL. He's going to step back. He scored a beauty goal the other night, and he was thinking about another one, but John Sullivan got on hands and denied his opportunity. Goodwin gives it up top, and Symes is looking for the roll across the top. Billy D. Smith lets him know he's there. Low shot by Lowen, and then Lowen heads to the bench. That ball's knocked away, and Goodwin's going to come up with it. Ethan O'Connor just lost the handle. There's a lot of traffic, and there's just some banging around. Ball popped out. Berard's set up again. That shot goes high. Oh, and off to the races is Brody Merrill. Kind of tosses it ahead to himself, runs onto it. Saved by Chiliano. Chiliano has faced a lot of high-quality chances and made a ton of saves on him. A lot of overall shots, but the number of high-quality ones is what makes his performance so impressive.
Yeah, he's stopped a ton on transition, in tight, outside looks. It's, you know, and we talked about it the first game, how big he is, but he still moves like an athletic goalie, but he still has that built of a pure stopper.
There's a shot. Bounces off of the backboards by Randy Stotts, and Chiliano grabs that one. 7 minutes into the first period. Berard's coming forward. Dan Taylor comes across the top. Lowen trying to set some picks for him. There's McIntosh changing direction. Taylor spins. Lowen has it. A lot of activity, but the Chiefs staying with him, and the Berards just run out of time. Here comes David Brock pushing the pace. Dan Dawson's up ahead. He's got a lane to Dawson. Now it goes to him. Trailers Banesh. They pick him up nicely. That's Zach Porter, who seems to pick up everybody just as they're about to come open. Barker on Dawson. Big pick by Brock. Dawson's still having trouble getting open. Comes to point. He rips it wide. Straight out to Dawson. 7 on the shot clock. Dawson gets a pick, shoots wide, and the shot clock will expire. Briar Jonathan's on the back of Irving, tries to push him into the crease, almost succeeds. Irving just gets his direction changed and gets around it. Skips away from Zach Porter. Again, you see 4 white, orange, and teal jerseys out there, taking away the transition chance. The Chiefs are so good at that. Mallory, cradling, fakes the pass to Jarrett Davis. Goes to the far side instead, and Taylor drives in. Big pick, a little too big. Ethan O'Connor's knocked down. Here go the Chiefs the other way. Jeremy Thompson pulls it up. Austin Stotts with it. He's going hard to the net. Aaron Davis pushes him aside. Jamison scores.
Oh my God.
Cody Jamison. We talked about it. You said last night, one leg, no legs, doesn't matter. The kid can score. Well, he's not a kid. He's a grown man now.
He's a grown man.
But wow, what a shot.
And that's a grown man shot. Just when you think there's not enough space in between himself and the defender, he just makes you think about that again. Great feed by Stotts, knowing that, you know, he has the trailer coming, and luckily for him, the trailer's number 88, and Cody Jamison just gets that shot off before the defender can slide up and puts that right over Chiliano's shoulder. And my God, does he have a good shot.
You can see Colton Porter jumping out on him. He's there quick.
Yeah.
I think maybe the only guy with a quicker release than Jamison is Austin Stotts. I mean, he gets rid of it in a hurry. But Jamison just rips that one.
And Brian Shanahan tweeting out the other night when he was here, he said that Austin Stotts was the best shooter he's seen in a long time, and he has seen some good ballers.
That one from Mallory gets away over the top of the quick return shot by Taylor. That one misses as well. They're going to run out of time, and just a little loft into the corner by McIntosh.
And good to see Austin Stotts getting it going early. Obviously, he scored the huge goal yesterday, but a relatively quiet night for him. Was getting frustrated, only ended up with 2 points, mind you, one being the biggest of the game. But nonetheless, it's good to see that he's getting that confidence going, because when he gets going, it's hard to stop him.
2-2 as we near the midway point, and Briar Jonathan was almost in alone, but just the pass from Banesh not getting there. Chiliano will step out of his crease to avoid the 5-second count. You have 5 seconds that you can hold the ball in your crease, and then you turn it over. Symes tries to take that low hopper, but he has it skip off of him. Nobody near him, so he's got time, but only 12 now on the shot clock as he gets to the corner. The cut. Oh, that's a gorgeous play, but stepping into the cylinder there was Dan Taylor. We still haven't had another look yet, but hopefully we will get another angle at that Austin Stotts goal, because I'd just be curious to see where the feet were. We do have the media timeout coming, so that'll be a good chance. Dane Smith off the post. Austin Stotts back to him. Smith wanted another go, but Kevin Reed right out on him. He's out well past the restraining line. The low one, almost out to the high restraining line. There's a shot from Randy Stotts. That's blocked by Barker. That one's swallowed up by Frankie Chiliano. And we will go to the media timeout. You've got a bit of work to do, but hopefully we'll get a look at least at the same replay if that's all we've got.
I am Cody Jameson, and I shop at ILA Sport.
Mont Hill Golf and Country Club. With 3 different beautifully manufactured holes, you have the opportunity to mix and match your play that you can enjoy a unique experience each time you visit. 2016 will break ground on their new 46,000-foot square state-of-the-art facility with restaurant, indoor golf simulators, and banquet hall, which will make them a year functioning club. You will always be treated with first-class, friendly staff at Mont Hill Golf and Country Club.
I think those are manicured.
Yes,
courses.
manicured. Yes,
there
it
we
is.
Go. Which is difficult this year. It's been so dry. You've got to put a lot of work in to keep the courses in shape. Here go the Berards. That one's picked off by David Brock. The Chiefs are running. Dan Coates is out there. He's going to set a screen shot right in the middle of Frankie Chiliano. And, you talked about Frankie being athletic, and he is a big guy. I mean, you see the weight. He's 6'3", listed about 290 or so. But then you see him out of his gear. He is a pretty fit guy. You can tell he is athletic, and he shows it when he's out there playing. Sullivan all over Gillespie, who gets a shot off anyway. That ball off the backboards, and Goodwin will snag it. They've got 6 to get a shot off. Goodwin thought about that one. 3 seconds. He's just going to fire it at Ward. Almost caught him off guard, but he just couldn't get that angle. Ball rolls the length of the floor. And Mosdell will throw one back to Chris Williams, and he will hand it to Dane Smith. We are 2-2 past the midway point of the first period here. Dan Dawson over to Austin Stotts. Stotts backing down. Double team behind the back pass. That goes into the Berards bench. They're going to go the other way. Kevin Reed gets off so Dan Taylor can run up the floor, but they have to wait for the whistle, and Chiefs have 5 defenders out there. Mallory watched by Sid Smith, trying to go around him. Smith gets him. Merrill all over Ben McIntosh, who's trying to set a pick. Mallory goes to the far side. Taylor took a look as he thought he'd lost the ball. It was still in his stick. Hard pass to Mallory. 10 to shoot. McIntosh's shot is blocked by the stick of Sid Smith. Great play by Smith. He's having another excellent game.
He certainly is. This defense of the Chiefs are having another excellent game as well. They made those adjustments, really focusing on taking away topside, funneling the guys down low, and making sure that the 2-man game on the other side is doing a good job.
Benesh and Breyer Jonathan working the 2-man game. They go far side, just like you're talking about, and Dan Dawson lets one go. Chiliano stops that. Long outlet pass. Here's a drive to the net by Gillespie. He's got Billy D. Smith, puts his shoulder into Smith. Smith doesn't like that. He's chopping him. Gillespie's stick comes up into the face of Smith, and Smith will give him some what for. Smith with the big forearm shiver. We're going to see if anything comes of that. Zach Porter goes to the net. He's tackled by Kellen LeClaire, and the Berards will get a fresh 30. Porter's going to head off the floor, and the Berards will start with possession. And now we have a high sticking call coming. To Jeremy Thompson. And I was kind of expecting a penalty to come to Billy D. Smith as he was really getting into it there, and it winds up being Jeremy Thompson that takes one for something after the play. So Smith will stay out with Brody Merrill at the top of the penalty kill, Sid Smith and Dan Coates. And the Chiefs really rely on Coates for a lot of things. Penalty kill, a big part of it. He's just such a terrific player, and they've got to be excited to have him back.
No doubt. And, Six Nations have done a pretty good job so far taking away the power play chances for the Burrards. The Burrards are just 2 for 16 on the man advantage so far.
Lowen and Taylor on the far side. Jarrett Davis at the top. McIntosh and Mallory closest to us as the Burrards go right to left here in the first period. Some good movement. Mallory. Lowen shoots, or Taylor off the post up into the ceiling. Fresh 30 for the Burrards. So good chance as they've got some defenders getting a little bit leg heavy maybe. If they can keep them moving. All that ball movement does force the defenders to go back and forth. That shot just goes past. Billy D. Smith almost had it. Taylor got it just enough to knock it over to Lowen. Davis gets the pass up top. McIntosh, duck drag off the crossbar. The Burrards are coming close to ending that slump, or at least biting into it on the power play. McIntosh back up to Davis. They try and get that one through. McIntosh does get it, misses the shot, but they're going to get there first. Nice little pick by Mallory to keep Brody Merrill from the ball. They've got 12 to shoot. Little underhand shot by Mallory. He tries to kick it over, but it's scooped up by Sid Smith, and he's going for the outlet pass. Craig Point running the floor. He's picked up by Colton Porter immediately. There's Ryan Benesh. They've got 38 left in this penalty to kill. As Point takes the pass on the far side from Austin Stotts. Creighton Reed alone on point, but he gives it off to Benesh. We see the Burrards doing a lot of ball movement when they're killing the penalty up in the offensive zone. The Chiefs tend to move the ball well as well. Oh, what a pass and a goal. I was just going to say the Chiefs a little less passing, a little more movement with the ball, but then you have the off-ball cut. Smith to Benesh to the back of the net, and we've seen that in Buffalo. We've seen it here plenty in Six Nations.
Exactly. That's just chemistry. That's them two knowing, all right, if I can beat my man off ball, Dane, you're going to hit me right in the middle of the floor, which you do see that cross floor. Right, putting it in open space, almost like a quarterback throwing a ball to a wide receiver. And Benesh, we've talked about it so many times this series, so many times last year's in the major series. You give him any sort of space in front of the net, doesn't matter. He's going to find a way to tuck it home or even hit the post. He definitely always gets a good chance.
Yeah. There's another break from Merrill, almost back-to-back shorthanded goals. But Merrill is stopped by Chiliano. He is going to run by the Burrards bench. There's a quick word for referee Chris Williams, but the penalty has expired, and the Chiefs are the ones tonight getting the shorthanded goals. You're talking about like Trevor Simeon leading Emmanuel Sanders, right? That's my new go-to.
Yeah.
And David Brock is just tossing stuff up for John Sullivan. He's got a glove on the floor and a stick on the floor. Sullivan goes high. His stuff's still out there. He gets on the back of Gillespie. Now he's just kind of running around. That ball's going to bounce off. The shot clock expires, but they get a fresh 30 just in time. You saw the hand of Chris Williams wave. And Lowen, I'm not sure about that shot selection. Early in the shot clock, especially with a man without a stick.
Exactly. Great loose ball by David Brock, though, going up there and grabbing that.
Oh, yeah. Brock is such a tremendous player for this team, a veteran presence. He will join Sam McDade in the second intermission. Foot save by Chiliano off the shot by Jonathan. In the first intermission, I believe we'll have Riley Lowen joining Sam McDade. There's Randy Stotts off the far post, just about a quarter inch from getting that one to bounce in, because that came almost back to him. Out of play, they get a fresh 30. 4:10 to go here in JVI Sports Network's presentation of Game 4 of the Mann Cup. And Dane Smith's shot goes off the Burrards and into the mesh. They get it back. Another fresh 30 right in front of Stotts. Kevin Reed once again with the one-hand grab. Again, he is known for his toughness and roughness. He has some stick skills.
He does. Yeah. A lot of it, too, is just because he's such a smart player. He puts himself in the right position that allows him to make those plays.
Yeah, I really like his game. Jarrett Davis gets a pick from McIntosh. Gillespie. There's the cutter behind. Ward was there waiting for it. I almost thought McIntosh was going to wait as that pass kind of floated a bit on him. I felt like if he'd waited just a split second and gone back against the grain, it might have helped. But again, Austin Stotts down the other end. Benesh actually picked Aaron Davis, or picked Colton Porter right into Stotts. There's a battle, and Porter's the first one to the boards to get it. Flings it ahead. Nice job by Barker to come back and get it, seeing that he had to be between Stotts and the ball. Porter's going to shoot. Not where he was aiming to put that one into the midpoint. Brock runs over Barker. Barker gets up into him, and they're both going to go. Brock has Barker by the face mask, pushes him off. They'll get 2 apiece. So we'll go to some 4-on-4 lacrosse with 2:54 to go in the period. We'll get down into the final minute with the extra space. And, you know, the Chiefs like to talk, but here you see what comes of it. There's the shot, and Brock's just going to run over right there.
Barker was standing very close to his crease, so the shove there is totally fine. It's just the stuff after is what.
Is it? I don't know. Yeah, it is. But I mean, it's after the play you go a shove up into the guy's face. I mean, that's the WLA ref. Maybe David Brock was like, yeah, you know, they get away with a lot more out there. Let's give him a push to the face and knock him down. And then Barker actually runs into him to engage. Here comes Stotts, spins, passes over. Thought it was going to Dawson, but Randy Stotts grabbed it. He's getting worked over by Michaud. It pops out. He's going to try and get back and does. Nice play. Gets it to Dawson. Oh, what a save. Great pass and an even better save. And then Dawson gets up into the face of a Berard. Those two are dancing. Travis Irving and Dan Dawson have a couple of words.
Unbelievable pass by Stotts. And
gorgeous. Well, the effort to get to the loose ball, right?
Even better save by Chiliano.
Gillespie spins, passes across. Lowen was knocked down in front, and then Paul Dawson with a little check to the back of Lowen's head. Definitely letting the guys play tonight. Jump shot, Gillespie. That was close. We're going to have a crease call as Jared Davis kind of cut through the crease to try and get that ball. So we've pretty much established the tone tonight that it will be physical. Look for this game to kind of escalate in intensity, I would think, the way it's developing so far. They're letting them do a lot of things. A very Western game, which you would think would suit the Berards, of course. There's a shot by Smith, saved by Chiliano. Berards, as we all know, known as the Broad Street Bullies. They've got shirts made. They refer to themselves as the Broad Street Bullies. The Berard Street Bullies, sorry.
The Berard Street Bullies.
That's flashing back to the Flyers in the 70s.
Based off that,
Definitely based on it.
But I'm sure these Six Nations players, especially on the defensive side of the floor, definitely don't mind the calls being more WLAS.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, if you're going to let that go, then, you know, guys like David Brock and Billy D. Smith said Smith, they'll play.
Yep.
McIntosh, hard low shot, but into the stick. Taylor not being able to find a spot. It's 3-2 as we head to the final minute. Players coming out of the box right now. They'll each head to their benches for subs. There's a shot by Dawson. That's not where he intended it, right into the belly pad of Chiliano. 47.7 left on the period. And Chiliano wants them to blow play in while the ball is sitting there. He said, I didn't grab it, just keep play going, because they could have waited until someone. The goalies have been doing that a lot, letting the ball sit until somebody comes to play it. Pass is almost caught by Gillespie, just gets away from him. Paul Dawson can't pick it up. The Chiefs don't want possession until 30 is left, so they waited a bit, but then the Berards are going after it. Mallory gets it. Will they take a timeout? Nope. But now Chiliano, is he going to go to the bench? Oh, there's no reset. They don't actually have the benefit. Yeah, I guess the Chiefs never possessed it, so they can't pull Chiliano. They've got 7 to shoot. Mallory, John Sullivan actually knocked away the stick of Luke Gillespie. And the refs must not have seen that, because that's definitely unsportsmanlike when you toss it away. But it'd be hard to imagine that being called right now with what's going on in the game so far. And you just wonder, will things escalate a bit? If so, it's going to be a pretty exciting game. It's going to be exciting anyways, 3-2. Sam McDade will be down on the floor, but with a player, this is a pretty fast-paced game, just like we saw last night.
Yeah, I think it definitely picked up where we left it off last night, and a very similar first period that we saw last game. Both teams still kind of feeling each other out, but the defense is definitely stepping up with the officials allowing them to play a little more. We're starting to see more hard-nosed defense. And you know what? If it's not for these two goaltenders, it might actually be a little higher scoring of a period as well.
Sam McDade is down on the floor with Riley Lowen. Sam, you go.
He said alongside Riley Lowen. Riley, first off, thanks for talking to me. Secondly, let's talk about the score. 3-2 after 20 minutes of play. The Berards had a quick goal a little bit over a minute into the game, and then another one. What's going to happen to really even this game out for you guys and keep scoring, and what sparked that early on offense?
I think, we just got to keep going hard in the offensive zone. Their defense is getting tired, so I think we just got to keep running at them, and I think good things will happen if we keep doing that.
Last night we saw it go to extra minutes because it was such a close match game. After 20, 3-2, like I said. Are you guys worried at all that this is going to be a similar game, or that the rest of the games in this series will continue to be that way?
Yeah, I think every game is going to be a battle like it was last night. We kind of thought we let that one slip away at the end last night, so we're going to try and put together a full 60 minutes here and hopefully come out on the right side.
It's definitely a hard-fought battle. Let's talk a little bit about your battle throughout this series. You've been doing fantastic. You're tied for fourth in this series as a point leader. You got 5 goals, 5 assists. What's been working so far for you?
I think it's our whole offense as a whole. All 5 guys out there at a time. We're all banging and crashing, and all the points are pretty spread out on our team, and that's how it's been all year, and we're just going to keep continuing to do the same. Thanks
so much for talking with me, Riley. I'll let you go back to the room. Thanks again. Keep it locked here on JVI Sports Network. We got another 40 minutes left of play here. You're going to hear from Steven Stamp and Pat Gregoire later on in this tournament. Keep it locked here, guys, on JVI.
'17 Toronto Rock season tickets are on sale now. Lock in your seat today for as low as $195, and you won't miss a moment of the action. For more information, visit torontorock.com.
Let's go. Down low, quick.
Traditions. They remind us where it all began. A time when lacrosse was more than just a game. When it was a gift from the Creator, a sacred rite, a curing ritual. Traditions. They travel through the generations, passed down from hand to hand, bringing us back to a time worth revisiting. This is our tradition. This is your passion. This is traditional lacrosse.
Jacasa Studios is a state-of-the-art analog and digital multimedia facility specializing in recording, editing, mixing, mastering, and audio restoration. Home of the SSL console from Abbey Road Studios. Come see why Snoop Dogg, Alexis on Fire, Obie O'Brien, The Sheepdog, July Talk, and so many more have all called us home. Visit JacasaMediaGroup.com for more information and rates.
The Rock Elite League. Join the premier winter box league in Canada. A 24-game regular season allows players to keep their skills sharp all year round. Rock Elite League has professional coaching from NLL players and coaches, featuring NLL rules and officials. And yes, they are still accepting registrations for this fall. Register online today at rockeliteleague.com. Extreme Threads Apparel. They offer custom sublimated team uniforms along with all your team apparel needs, specializing in unique custom items that will fit any team requirements on or off the floor. Located in beautiful British Columbia, but supplying teams around the world. Contact Extreme today for your free custom team designs for any sport and any item you may need. Customize your team with Extreme at extremethreads.ca. Canada Fuels. Serving the Six Nations and surrounding communities since early 2015. Full service for gasoline and diesel vehicles, featuring fully wireless handheld debit machines with tap capability to have you on your way quickly. Stop in and experience our top-notch customer service and windshield cleaning. Truly, service with a smile at Canada Fuels.
Welcome back to the 2016 Mann Cup Finals. We're in Game 4 as the Six Nations Chiefs are taking on the Maple Ridge Berards. Now, Spencer Tangway, my lacrosse insider and expert, alongside myself, Sam McDade. Spencer, how's the game been going so far for you?
Well, you know what? This is a game that's been going back and forth, but we're seeing some things that are not normally typical for each of these teams. Of course, the goaltending matchup we talked about prior to the broadcast. Siciliano, of course, once again, unbelievable. And now you talk about Dylan Ward, who's been one of those goaltenders who's once again stepped up for the Six Nations Chiefs. But the Chiefs' defense tonight is at a new level. They have been absolutely pushing this Six Nations offense to a brand new level, and boy, have they been absolutely unreal to start today's game.
Let's talk about another player for Six Nations, Cody Jamieson, our player to watch. It's only been 20, so you got to keep watching him. But what have we observed about him so far in this game?
Well, Jamieson, of course, he's the guy controlling the offense with Austin Stotts, who had a beautiful goal in that first period, the opening 20 minutes. The shots were 18-15, and Jamieson had 2 or 3 of those shots, but the shots that he's getting are ringing off the goalpost. They're catching Sciliano right in the hands. They're putting him right at the right spots, and that's what Six Nations needs to continue to do if they're going to add on to this 3-2 lead.
Before we switch sides of the floor to the Maple Ridge side, let's stay on Six Nations for a quick minute, talk about another nice, rather smooth goal by Ryan Benesh.
Well, Benesh is just a guy that has the hands for the Buffalo Bandits, of course, in the NLL, but he had a beautiful goal to open up that period for the Six Nations Chiefs, beat Siciliano over the left shoulder, right side of the net, and that's where all 3 of the goals actually have been in, right over that left shoulder of Siciliano. We'll see how he can react to that in the second and third periods, but it's just been an absolutely beautiful performance so far, as we'll get a look at the Six Nations Chief offense go to work here. And this is Austin Stotts on that beautiful far side creased goal that started it up.
Definitely a lot of hard work put into that goal right there. Now let's switch to the opposite side of the floor and talk a little bit about our players, Maple Ridge's players. And we have Ben McIntosh, who was our player to watch on that side of the floor. What has he really contributed to the team in a sense for Maple Ridge?
Well, I think it's just a lot of IQ that he brings to this team so far. He's obviously not contributing as well as he'd like to on the score sheet, down 3-2, but Matt Carrick mentioned it. He's a 2-time NLL champion with the Saskatchewan Rush. We'll see what happens as we progress later on in today's game, but he just knows they're down by 1. They've been in this position before. They took it to overtime yesterday. I have a funny feeling overtime might be in the broadcast schedule for today's game.
That's funny. I was just going to ask you what you thought on that. So, yes, of course, and Riley Lowen, too, saying that a lot of hard work is going to have to happen if they're going to prevent that as well. Now, let's send it up to the booth with our call guys, Steven Stamp and Pat Gregoire. Guys, you have the game.
Hey, thanks, Sam and Spencer. I am Steven Stamp with Pat Gregoire, and we're just sitting here waiting for you guys to finish up. No, I actually was just talking to Colin Doyle and just got back. And
Perfect timing,
Yeah,
actually.
he was saying, I literally put the headphones on and you're saying, let's go. But Colin Doyle having a lot of fun watching it. And, let us know who you think should be the Thompson Brothers Lacrosse 3 stars of the game. Tweet us at JVI Video. We'll look at your suggestions and take them into consideration. So many candidates that it helps us when you give us some insight into what you think.
Yeah, it does. I mean, you would think it's not that easy when you have so many people to pick from, but boy, last game we had a full sheet of just so many names written down.
We had to get it back when they went to overtime.
Yeah, when it went to overtime. Yeah, exactly. But we've been treated to for sure that last game was the best game so far, and it looks like we're on pace for another great game tonight.
We're going to take a look at some. What are we looking at? Oh, there we go. Copyright broadcast. This is by JVI Sports Network. I sounded like Yoda. This is a copyright broadcast of JVI Sports Network. It may not be reproduced, retransmitted, or rebroadcast in part or in whole without express written permission from JVI Sports Network. So get in touch with it if you would like to do so. We want to grow the game. We want to spread the game, but we want to do it the right way.
Exactly.
And we could use a sponsor or more for tomorrow night. We want to keep bringing you these games live and free. We just found out we've had over 16,000 views of this year's Mann Cup games to this point. We've got, I think we're at 1,200 watching live right now. You can, of course, watch the games on the archives. Go to JVI's YouTube page. Subscribe to the page, and you'll have the whole list of games that we've done. They're right there. And it is pretty exciting. We're back out on the floor. The players are out for the second period. It's 3-2. We expect a lot more to go. I was talking to Colin Doyle. I said, I thought Austin Stott's goal was in the crease. He said, yeah, that was pretty close. And he said, and then they call back the one down here. And, I mean, Colin Doyle is a Six Nations chief.
Yeah.
So he's not playing this year, of course, since he had the surgery. But he is... one of the all-time greats, and we were saying earlier, one of the great guys in the game. Nice to have a conversation with him, and he was saying this is just an excellent showcase. There it is, and you, again, remember, the feet cannot be over the cylinder before the ball goes in. There are the feet. They're clear now. They're in the crease right there. That's, to me, pretty clearly no goal. What do you think?
I think you might be right, but
I think he's a foot or two in.
At full speed, it's tough, though. That's where I'm going to say.
Yeah.
At full speed, it's very tough.
Yeah. Barker will hand it off. The Burrards will have the first possession. And they score just like that. McIntosh, the ball is in and out of his stick, making like Casey Byrnes there. And that one ties it up 3-3. We're 16 seconds into action here in the second.
That is unbelievably quick. There's still people still trying to sit down here, get ready. And boy, that's a great way, an absolutely great way to start this period. The Burrards, obviously they had a great first period. They were trailing, but that's an even better way to start the second period.
Absolutely a great way to start a period. Kevin Reed will try and keep them rolling. Ethan O'Connor all over him, makes the short pass to Barker. This is eating up some of the 30-second clock, which of course is part of the point of the forecheck. The Burrards go to the middle. Sprinting back around. Davis takes it over, passes over to Lowen, who kind of got handcuffed. The pass was down by his hip. That's a great recovery to get it back. 6 to shoot. Goodwin has it, looking for someone to pass to. He's going to spin, shoots it. This time he gets it on. The ball bounces out, but a couple of Burrards were already gone to get the defense out, and Ethan O'Connor runs the floor. O'Connor stepping across mid-floor. And Jonathan goes to Stotts, who's isolated on Creighton Reed. Now it's the far side, and Austin Stotts has it. Dan Dawson, Reed watching him, spins back, shovel to Stotts, but that one gets away. 3 Burrards after him, and it's scooped up by Clay Miller. Didn't see Briar Jonathan coming, he knocks it free, but Davis is the first one there. Now Jonathan hits Davis, heads up play to get it over to Michaud. Every ball is valued by these teams so much. When there's a loose ball, everyone's going after it. You've got to protect because you know somebody's going to be trying to knock it loose from you. Oh, and that pass almost given away. Brody Merrill was right there, but it is snagged by Mallory. Now he's got to get through a couple of checkers, gets it to Lowen. 1 second to shoot. Goes off of Paul Dawson, who is angry at that ball for hitting him and swats it over to the boards. It's picked up. There's a shot by Jamieson. He's run into the boards by Kevin Reed. He looks at Terry Mosdell, wants a call. Zach Porter coming the other way. Fast-paced and furious as the action has been throughout the last couple of games.
Especially in this second period with that long change.
That pass doesn't get through to Davis, just behind him. Taylor trying to get it to him. It's loose along the boards. Gillespie going after it, but it's going to be O'Connor getting it. Shovels it over to Paul Dawson. Here comes Barker. He saw that Dawson was going to have to block that ball down low. Great job by the big man. And you can hear about 30 people in the crowd call hold as it looked like the Burrards grabbed a hold of Dawson. No call. And pretty consistent with the way they've been calling it. And as long as the refs are consistent, nobody's going to mind too much. Coach comes up with it. Barker will step off. Shot clock about to expire, so Coach rips it. And we've talked about how calm, cool, and collected Dylan Ward is. Frankie Chiliano just saw that ball sailing wide, just watched it, turned his head to see, but no biggie. Goalies are so cool. That pass almost picked off by Sid Smith, but it does get through to McIntosh. Jab step, swim move. Merrill recovers and the pass across. Goodwin, toe drag, tries to tuck that one in. Ward just got enough of it. Brock blocks him. Great play by Brock to keep Goodwin from getting there, but Goodwin knocks it free, gets it. Oh, doesn't quite get it before it rolls into the crease. Ward will give it off to John Sullivan. Now, if you are looking at point streak, we just want to let you know that I believe Leo Sturos is listed. We have not seen him, but Dan Coates is in. Coates taking Vaughn Harris's spot tonight. Clay Miller rushes over to get that ball, and the Chiefs will go to the bench, get their D out. O'Connor was the first guy. He picks up Jarrett Davis, and the slow break for the Burrards. 3-3 the score. A little bit of a breath being taken by both teams here as they set up on the O, and now things get rolling again. Burrards go to the middle, as they always do. McIntosh over to Lowen. Big pick, and there's a moving pick. The Burrards don't like it, but that one was a pretty big whack on Paul Dawson.
Certainly was, but like you said, these officials letting these guys play, set the tempo for this game, set the line, and they've been fairly consistent with it.
I think it's been pretty good. Dane Smith up top. Nice little shift move by Austin Stotts. He gets it over to Dane Smith. He's picked up immediately by Dane Michaud. There's the pass to point. Oh, he goes mid to high, and Chiliano had to be sharp. Nice pass out by Michaud. I really like the way he plays the game as well. Here comes Creighton Reed. They're trying to push the pace. Taylor sees the man off the bench, but now he gets it to him. Mallory's shot stopped. Mike Mallory just kind of snake bit in this series. He's not looking as comfortable as he might be. And you kind of get the feeling if he can just get one, it will probably snap him out of it, and he might start producing for them. Gillespie comes across the top. Sullivan gets through the pick and stays right with him. There's Mallory. He's going to let one go. Stopped by Ward. That one's right in the middle of the chest. That's what happens sometimes when you're feeling a little clutching the stick a bit, either middle of the chest or you fire it wide because you're trying to be too precise. Sullivan has it. He'll leave it for Randy Stotts. Here come the Chiefs again. Kevin Reed on him. Austin Stotts gets it. He's picked up by Davis and Porter. Spins, shovel pass, and Benesh goes to Stotts, who's loaded up, but right into the stick of Chiliano. Again, as the shot is stopped, two Chiefs are already from the offensive zone to the bench to get defenders out. They're so good in reverse transition. It's a massive challenge to get any opportunities on them. Low into Gillespie. He loses the ball, and Ward pounces on it.
Great collapse there by O'Connor and Thompson. And they've really done a great job adjusting to this Burrards offense.
Dane Smith is walking in, tries to get a pass over to Briar Jonathan, who went the other way, but he eventually does get it away from Travis Irving. They've got 10 on the shot clock. Dane Smith is picked up, cuts through the middle. Oh, great defense by Creighton Reed on that one to stay right with Dane Smith, who has made so many players, left so many players grasping for air. Reed stays with him, the fresh 30. And you can see Tyler Codrins spreading his arms saying, why is there a reset? Not sure if that one went off of Chiliano. I didn't see it, but There's an attempt by Stotts down low. Michaud across, heads up to come back to the near side. And there's Creighton Reed. Some pressure from Coates. Slips underneath. Coates staying with him. A lot of pressure. Reed will get it eventually over to Matt Symes. Jarrett Davis is going to meet McIntosh coming off the bench. Davis goes down low. Quick shot off of Ward. Goes straight over to Dan Taylor. Berard's going to reset and start things up again. McIntosh. Oh, almost picked up by Taylor in front. Then McIntosh can't grab it. They do have a fresh 30 as Davis gets it. Goodwin wanted the ball. In the middle, though, to Taylor. That shot bounces out. Here comes David Brock.
A couple of huge saves by Ward there, and once again making it look so easy.
Big collision, Miller and Brock. Brock makes the pass and braced for the hit. The collision, you saw that one coming. Miller finishing the check. Miller with the great beard. If we ever get a chance to see him with the helmet off, it's kind of the pointy. Lowen with the shot. Ward's ready for that one. Lowen almost tucked it in the far side. Boy, this is a fast-paced period. We're already 8 minutes in. I'm Stephen Stamp with Pat Gregoire, bringing you JVI Sports Network presentation of Mann Cup 2016. It's Game 4, and things are building and building as they are wont to do in a national championship here. Dan Dawson slips down low. Nice two-man game by the Berards. Smith cuts loose. There's a nice slide. Oh, but the goal by Dane Smith. Great two-man game. Great slide by Aaron Davis. And Dane Smith makes it all for naught with the step-back bouncer over the shoulder. That is why he is the all-time NLL goal-scoring king for a single season, and that's why he's so dangerous.
He is absolutely electric. Finding ways to score when it seems impossible. The little spinorama back up and just a three-quarters sidearm rip. Bouncer, perfect placement too. That's the best part about this finish, as he puts it bounce top cheese. Unbelievable. And Smith, I thought he had a good game without, finding the score sheet that much. I think he only finished with 1 point. Tonight he's had a ton of chances, and it's good to see him, if you're the Chiefs, finally sink one here halfway through this game.
Well, you can see how hard that is for the goalie. When he steps open to the hips, here comes the Berards. We'll get back to that in a second, but as the Berards trying to push and get back immediately, there's the cut to the middle by McIntosh. Over to Taylor. He shoots it near side. That one's stopped. It'll come back to him. Fresh 30. We have a bit of a tackle by Brody Merrill, and the Berards will get the ball. They're going to tell Paul Dawson he's got to give Taylor some room to start playing. You do have to give some space to let the player initiate play once the whistle is blown in. There's McIntosh breaking down with the wide stance. Tries to get it through. Can't quite manage it. We're going to have a loose ball push. Briar Jonathan, who usually is a defender, but has been playing up front, is playing D and pushes down Taylor. The Berards get a fresh 30. Goodwin. McIntosh cuts across to low and shoots. Saved by Ward. Boy, Ward is sharp tonight. Taylor can't get that one as Jonathan was there. The ball is kicked over, and the Berards not closing the door may have just hurt them, because if it had been closed, I think it might have bounced out. Lowen's on the turf, back up at the other end, and he is crawling. Now he gets up and is hobbling over, not putting much weight on his foot. It's 5-on-4 for the Chiefs. They try to get the pass down to point, but can't. It's a 2-on-0 break. Javis is running. He's going to let Porter run interference. The shot saved by the stick of Dylan Ward. Just got enough.
Dylan Ward is dialed in tonight.
Oh, he has been so sharp. That's why it's 4-3, because the Berards have created some great chances. Stotts with it. Pick coming from point. Shovels it over. Banesh off the shoulder, off the crossbar maybe. Stotts gets it. He comes back and scores. Tucks one low. Pouring a page from the shooting textbook of Luke Gillespie as he goes to the far side and just tucks it past Giuliano. Well, I guess Gillespie goes a bit further and goes back.
Yeah, that is a goal scorer's goal. Coming in down low, we'll wait to see here on the replay, but he does a great job to get Giuliano spread in the 5-hole, fakes up and puts it down low. We'll see it right here. Good job fighting for that loose ball too, beating Reed. One fake and then puts that right through the wickets of Chiliano.
You can see Reed just clutching for the jersey, anything he could, just not enough for Randy Stotts. And, we haven't talked about Stotts a whole lot. I said this before. He's been sort of quiet, but he's put up 10 points coming into the game, a couple more than his brother. He's been playing very well. He's just such a smooth player that you don't always notice how much he's doing. There's Mallory shooting. That one doesn't get through. Sid Smith knocks it away. The shot clock will expire. And boy, it's such a big swing of momentum when you have the big save at one end and then they come down and score at the other end. It is the immediate timeout. We'll take a break here on JVI Sports Network's presentation of Game 4 of the 2016 Mann Cup.
Hi, I'm Adam Beach, and I support the Dreamcatcher Charitable Foundation. With your support, we can help improve First Nation communities and make dreams come true. Because today's dreamer is tomorrow's leader. Your donation to Dreamcatcher leaves no one behind. To find out how you can help, visit dcfund.ca.
Tonight's Mann Cup broadcast is brought to you by Arrows Express Sports. They are committed to preserving and teaching Native American Indian sport, culture, music, and language. They are proud to own and operate over 3,000 capacity multi-purpose facility that is in the ILA. Winter lacrosse registration is open now. Visit their website to sign up today so you can play like the pros at the ILA turf.
We are ready to go again here at the Iroquois Lacrosse Arena. It is a great facility.
It is.
Lacrosse only. Tremendous. A great carpet because it doesn't have to be rolled up and down
exactly.
Like a lot of them in a lot of arenas, which makes a big difference. Smith over to Jamieson. Dawson's ready to shoot. Tucks it down, goes far side off the post. Ball bounces all the way out to mid-floor. Stotts gets it. Owen Barker's Aaron Davis all over him, knocks the ball loose. And, we've mentioned they're letting him play. And, boy, I'll tell you, that one could have been called. And there, Jamieson flattens Davis, and we get a possession call. Colton Porter grabs, and Kevin Reed actually knocks his own player's grip loose and says, let's just go to the bench. And when Kevin Reed is the voice of calm and reason, you know that that is a veteran play because he's been known to get into it.
Mm-hmm.
But a very smart play. You've got to step away from that. Have some discipline, and he did there. Spin move, big pick, shot off the bucket of Billy D. Smith, and he just adjusts his head. McIntosh tracks it down, Leclerc on him, 2 to shoot. He'll just lob it to the far side. Lowen is back out on the floor. That's good news. He seems to be moving okay. And Sullivan will start with the ball, lob it over to Jeremy Thompson.
Billy D just soaks that shot off the melon like nothing. Like you said, just shakes off the head and just says, all right, where's the ball? Let's go.
I'm pretty sure if you asked Billy D. Smith, he'd say that's probably the hardest part of my body. Oh, what a pass to Jonathan. Big save by Chiliano. Boy, and when you're down 5-3, the other team's on a bit of a run, you need your goalie to make those kind of stops, and he is making them. There's the pass to the trailer. Great catch by Goodwin. Goodwin and scores. Nice shot, but it was the catch on the run, reaching up, that really made that play. Connor Goodwin.
Beautiful goal by Goodwin. Really starting to find himself, more comfortable in this lineup. Really showing his athleticism. He's such a smooth runner, and you see catching that ball on the run, jumping up, and just a quick release. He really uses his field lacrosse skill set in the box lacrosse game that really helps out. And it's almost like a shot on the run from midfield that he takes there, and it's perfectly placed just on the inside of the pipe.
Interesting. I was talking earlier about Dane Smith. Starts to say as they battle for the loose ball, Sid Smith gets it. I was saying Dane Smith opened up the hips, springs out the left foot, opens the hips, looks like he's going to pull the ball, but kind of fires it back against the grain. Here comes Jeremy Thompson, and Goodwin did the same thing there. He's running to his right, drawing the goalie with him, and just kind of leaves the stick behind. It's like if you wanted to hit a fade in golf, you leave it behind. That Reed gets that one, gets a piece of that one, knocks it away on the pass, or Benesher's open, but it just makes it so hard when you look like you're pulling it near side and draw the goalie and go back against the grain. Lowen gives it over to Taylor. Those two are playing two-man game. Well defended so far. Really well defended, and Taylor's going to have to shoot from outside. And now we have Jarrett Davis on the floor in the vicinity of Billy D. Smith. He is rolling about, will pick up his stick and walk into Billy D. Smith, and here comes LeClaire the other way. Davis on him. LeClaire into the crease after the shot, though, and Ciliano motioning to the refs. We say that as long as they're consistent, the refs are consistent, the players won't mind, but they do express things, and there comes a penalty. Davis is down again separated from his stick, and he is in some obvious discomfort. Will pick up his stick as the extra attacker comes out, wants to be part of getting a goal back. McIntosh to Gillespie, gets away from him. The Burrards will go to the power play, hoping to even things up.
Rough shift there for Davis. Getting thrown around the floor, getting hacked and whacked
and now
by
he
Billy
gets a push
Smith.
for Brody Merrill.
And he's still limping from that little slasher. But when he got up, he just looked at Billy D, shook his head and smiled and said, all right, now we're going to go to the power play. Not too sure if he's seen the Burrards' power play numbers. Hasn't been too great so far, but we did see them earlier on with the power play on the Toronto Rock Elite power play chance. They were getting a lot of opportunities. They were just hitting posts, and Dylan Ward was making a bunch of good saves. So hopefully for the Burrards, they can maybe cash in on this opportunity.
You can see Davis kind of goes after Smith a bit and then just gets right there. Smith gives it back to him. And there he is down on the floor. And that, I think, was
that's the first one.
That was the penalty.
That was the
and you know what? It wasn't a
cross-check.
penalty. I say it like that's not even the penalty. It wasn't, it's just a hit by Billy D. Smith.
Yep.
And sure, you could call possession. You could call interference, but there's no way you call it the way the big game's been called so far. So I don't really have a problem with that one. The second one, I think Davis, I like how you call it a little slash. Ask Jarrett Davis about that.
It's a little slash for Billy D.
Yeah. Oh, Taylor can't quite catch that pass. Ciliano will come out and toss it up. That's going to bring the shot clock down.
Sid Smith getting his stick on the hand there to get that pass jammed up.
9 seconds as Davis gives it to Taylor. McIntosh is going to let it pass over. I thought he was going to let it rip. Made the pass. Gets away from everybody. Here comes Paul Dawson. Brody Merrill's ahead of him. Dawson had to control it, so he's just going to, he's going to pass now. Maybe, Merrill runs out the save by Ciliano. Porter almost knocked it into his own net, but grabs it and runs the other way. Runs past his brother, throws it up to Mallory. And there's Ben McIntosh. They're going to try the hidden ball play. Everyone's pointing at McIntosh. They're correct. Up to Taylor. Fakes the pass, fakes the shot. Shovel pass. McIntosh stopped by Ward. Reaches out to get it himself. Mallory almost knocked it out of his stick. We saw a crease interference call last night. That one was okay, though. It was clearly outside the crease, so the tap on the stick is all right. Coates gives it off and heads to the bench as Craig Point will try and kill the remaining 39 seconds in this penalty. Austin Stotts has it. Again, if you weren't with us earlier, Austin Stotts looking to become one of the youngest players to win a Mann Cup. The youngest ever. Bill Whitey Frick. And there's a penalty to Barker. Just as we're talking about Austin Stotts, he is leveled by Barker. And now the question is going to be, is that a deuce or a 5? It depends if you can see them already indicating Dan Dawson on the bench holding up 5 fingers. We'll see what the call is. The check came up to the chest. If it was a bit higher, it's going to be a 5. If it was on the chest, it'll probably just be 2. They've got 24 seconds to shoot with the extra attacker out there. Jamison over to Dawson. The shot clock wasn't winding, of course, because they're shorthanded. That's why. So they're 5-on-5. Stotts to Dawson. Now they're 6-on-5 as the penalty has expired. Chris Williams calling Zach Porter over to talk to him. Porter, one of the alternate captains. Barker's going to the box.
And Barker was already on the hit list for the Chiefs, mixing it up with David Brock. And I think he might have just made himself a date for later on in this game to tango at some point.
And it looks like Blair Ferguson is indicating to Owen Barker to get out of the box. He may be gone. Yeah, a major is up on the board. It's going to be 5 in a game. Let's watch it again. It's right up at the right of your screen. That's Austin Stotts with the ball. He's going to pass it away. And then Barker will come over right here. And you know, even when you're letting him play, you're not going to get away with that. That's a pretty clear violation. And you know, watching it live, I was wondering, oh, here, this is going to be a great look at it if we stay in tight on him. Barker, a little bit of a grab, loses him. Stotts passes it. This will show perfectly. Can't blame the cameraman for falling the ball.
Camera's doing their job.
Yeah, we just wanted to see it. That's why I groaned, not because you made a mistake.
No
offense to the camera guys.
There should be an Austin Stotts cam, though. Just saying. Just saying. There should be an
I'm
ISO
all for
cam.
That. That would be fun.
That includes postgame, too.
Yes. 5 on 4 for 5 minutes or less if they can get a couple of goals. Of course, someone's in the box for him. Point shoot saved by Chiliano. Owen bounds out. Benesh will track it down. Great job by Colton Porter. The Benesh gives him a push. The gate is open.
And he's grabbing
Doug Jamieson, great play to shove a player back and shut the door, because that is dangerous when they're battling along the boards. Jamieson can stop the ball and he can handle his door as well. 17-16 on the shot clock. Jamieson to Stotts. It's tipped away off the stick of Colton Porter. He and Dane Michaud up high. Creighton Reed and Aaron Davis low. That one's off the crossbar. And there'll be a fresh 30 for the Chiefs. 51 seconds gone in the penalty. 4:09 still to go. This is a crucial moment in the game. The Chiefs could pull away with a couple of goals, or momentum could swing to the Burrards if they can kill it. Smith will shoot. That one's blocked. Point trying to grab it. Eventually it's the Burrards with it. Porter takes a look. Smart play to see where Dane Smith is. And he's still aware. That is some terrific play by Colton Porter, and why we're such big fans of him and his brother Zach. That awareness.
The Burrards have the way they've been killing the ball, ragging the ball, and even scoring on the shorthanded. This isn't, this is an opportunity that they can really, really dig into some momentum here.
Well, especially when it's in the stick of Luke Gillespie, who has 3 shorthanded goals in the series. Matt Symes is not on the floor. He's got one. And now Ryan Benesh is going to go to the bench. There's the pass, the shot, the goal. And Ryan Benesh is saying, maybe I shouldn't have done that. I think they were calling him to come and get a defender out. And Jarrett Davis just rips it home, recovers from the shots he took earlier. Another shorthanded goal for the Burrards. It's 5-5.
Real nice shot, Gillespie. Another shorthanded point as well. And definitely Benesh is going to regret running to the bench. And Davis, if you give Davis, he can shoot the ball. If you give him that much space to spot up shoot, that's not on Dylan Ward there. That's just a perfectly placed shot.
Yeah.
But
5-5, and we talked about how it can be a momentum builder. If you can kill it, if you can score on it, it's even better with the major.
But Six Nations still has 3 minutes in this Rock Elite League power play.
There's a save by Chiliano. Jamieson gets it back. Another save. Chiliano has been huge on this penalty kill. Dawson. Now it's up to Benesh. He's going to go over to Stotts. Shoots it wide. Comes straight out to point, but a great play by Aaron Davis to swat that away.
Almost swatted it too hard because it came right back away.
7 to shoot. Stotts pass is knocked down by Aaron Davis. 3. Pass up top. Point's going to let it rip. Shoulder shrug save and a fresh 30 for the Chiefs. That is a horrible break for the Burrards. And then the moving pick by Stotts, and that's going to be a penalty. Roughing as he knocks down Zach Porter. And then Porter colliding with, that's Cody Jamieson. And Jamieson walks into Porter and then falls down. I didn't think Porter, they're grabbing Zach Porter. He's going to go. Stotts had the first one. And now Sid Smith is talking to him. We're going to have to see that again to see exactly what happened.
Jamieson and Stotts are both in the box. Porter's in the box as well.
So that'll even things up. We're going to be 3-on-3. Let's see what it develops here. There's Porter on Jamieson. A big pick by Austin Stotts. He could get a penalty for that one. It's not just a possession call, but that's the one where he goes. And then another one. Jamieson walks up and Boy, I didn't see Porter make much contact. I honestly don't know what Porter's going for.
Porter, obviously there was a shove there from Porter on Jamison. I don't know if he maybe got the sticks up and we couldn't see. Maybe he got the stick up. I'm not too sure.
Possible.
The refs were right in front of there, so obviously something had to, because from what we saw, it didn't look like it was much.
No, follow us on Twitter at JBI Video, at Major Series Lacrosse. Hashtags Man Cup Lacrosse JBI. Lacrosse is kind of generic. Just go Man Cup JBI.
Hashtag sports.
Hashtag sports. Hashtag cool stuff. Follow us. Likes on Facebook. There's the info there. I'm Steven Stamp with Pat Gregoire, bringing you an exciting Game 4 of the 2016 Mann Cup. 5-5, 1:01 to go in the second period. We're 3-on-3, a lot of space. The Chiefs will talk about how they like to play 5-on-5. They don't like these situations. They do pretty well in them, but the Burrards are young and quick, and we'll see if they can take advantage. There goes Gillespie. Great recovery by Sid Smith. Smith staying with him. Gillespie goes to the net. He's knocked down. He and Smith getting into it a little bit, and Ben McIntosh gets the ball. 8 to shoot. McIntosh decides against it, turns back. Davis over to Gillespie. 3 on the clock. Gillespie, one-hand shot to try and get a reset. Smart play. It doesn't quite work out, and here come the Chiefs the other way. Timeout called by the Chiefs. They've got 27 on the shot clock, 24 on the game clock, so they will be able to wait till the last second. They'll pull Dylan Ward, go 4-on-3, and that's a big advantage, getting that loose ball. And not much that the Burrards could do about it at that point.
No, absolutely not there, but the Chiefs are, really, gave up a chance there to have a power play for 3 minutes there. And now you're looking at 3-on-3 for a little while. At least they do now have a chance to go 4-on-3 here.
Dan Dawson, that is up to the minute,
yes,
isn't it? Because I think he had 127 coming into tonight. So that is right updated, as he has an assist this evening to pull within 9 points. I said I was talking to Colin Doyle earlier. We've been talking about him, and he will soon relinquish 4th spot in the all-time Mann Cup scoring ranks, I believe. 9 points. Dan Dawson, as we've seen, can do that in a game.
Yeah. Especially earlier in the series. He slowed down a little bit the last 2 games, but there's no doubt that he's such a dynamic player that he can score in a hurry and set up tons of goals in a hurry as well.
And the thing about Dan Dawson, I mentioned it earlier in a story on the MSL website. You should go check it out. We're approaching 500,000 views, which I think is pretty cool.
Yeah.
But Dan Dawson, he seems like he's been around forever. He's been playing at such a high level for such a long time. He's 34 years old. Is in great shape and loves the game. He could be around for a while.
Yeah, he certainly can. Yeah, like you said, that's the big thing. He keeps himself in shape. See him before, he's the first guy on the floor, warming up, stretching as well.
18 seconds, pressure from Reed. It's 3-on-2 down low. Benesh gets it. Over to Briar Jonathan. Saved by Chiliano, of course, with Stotts and Jamison in the box. You're missing 2 guys who'd probably be out there. Stotts across. What a goal! Mosdell comes in and counts it. 4.8 seconds. Great backdoor cut by Ryan Benesh. Great pass by Randy Stotts. And it's 6-5 on the 4-on-3. We talked about what an advantage it is when you get that ball last in the period.
It's huge and pays off for Six Nations here. Great job by Jonathan to get the loose ball, fire it over to Dane Smith, who hits Stats and then finds Benesh on the back door. And Jonathan, it feels good too because he takes that shot at the side of the net. Probably not the ideal take you want. But what does number 71 do? He fights for the loose ball like he always does and gets it to his other teammates who...
Another chance. Brody Merrill, what a save by Chiliano. That one would have counted. He got it off in time. That would have been a huge momentum swing if they score 2 in the last 5 seconds. As it is, they get 1. So the Chiefs go off to the locker room feeling pretty good. They're up 6-5. They get the late momentum goal. The Birds, I would think, feel pretty good because they're within a goal after they take the major. They get the shorthanded marker on it. You give up one at the end, but they're only a goal down. They know they can run with this team, and I think it's going to be a great third period.
Oh, there definitely will be. And, you know, most teams would head into the room right now a little bit deflated because of that goal. But the way that this team reacts to situations, I don't think that's the case at all. Like you said, I think they're going to be feeling happy heading in the room saying, don't worry, boys, we're down 1. We're totally in this.
We're totally in it. Sam McDade is in there grabbing her interview, which I believe is going to be with David Brock. And yes, he is the last man heading off the floor. Very handy, thoughtful of him to be the last guy so we can just stop. And Sam and David will have a little chat as they make their way out on the floor. And I'll tell you, David Brock is a veteran presence on this team. He was with the club when they won their two-man cups in 2013 and 2014. I think one of the underrated players in the game. He is such a solid defender, a good transition player, a great leader, and he is with Sam McDade right now.
Thanks, guys, alongside Tough Guy, Dave Brock. Dave, let's start off talking about your goaltender in this series and how well he's done and your thoughts on him so far and playing alongside a goaltender like Dylan Ward.
Dylan, yeah, absolutely. He's been our backbone all season. We rely on him when the defense has a breakdown. He's always there to back us up, and he's the heart and soul of our team. He's been doing a great job.
Maple Ridge showing some speed in this game, and players like, Riley Lowen really coming in as a defender. How are you guys keeping them to the outside and shutting them down? You guys are doing a great job so far.
Yeah, we're doing a nice job. They have a great team. They're very underrated, and they have some guys that we've never even heard of who are really making a name for themselves. So we're just doing our best to match feet. They're quick, they're strong, they're athletic, but so is our defense. So we're just doing our best to keep them out of the middle and limit their scoring chances. Being
reunited with Dan Coates, what's it like playing with him on the defense?
Well, we missed Coatesy for a couple games, and it's huge having him back tonight because he's so quick. He's an engine that doesn't stop. He's our assistant captain. He's a big leader, so it's huge having him back on the floor for us, and hopefully, going forward, he's healthy.
We've got a chippy game kind of happening out here in this bottom of this last 20. Can we expect it to still be physical coming into the next 20? Is it hot emotions?
Yeah, I'm sure it'll get more physical as the series goes on, period by period, shift by shift. It's two physical teams. They have a lot of pride. We have a lot of pride, and it's been, for the most part, fairly clean. A little bit of chippiness here and there, but that's to be expected. It's the Mann Cup.
Lastly, speaking of the Mann Cup, 6 nations, 3 titles in the last 4 years. What's got to happen to get that 4th one?
We just got to keep working hard. Like you said, these guys are working hard, so we got to match it. We got to, push, leave everything we have. We've been playing. This is our, 4 or 5 months, and we got to empty the tanks. Got to empty the tanks here.
Thanks so much, Dave. I'll let you go back to the room. Congrats. Keep it locked here on JVI Sports Network. We've got another 20 minutes of play. The score 6-5 for 6 Nations and an unexpected last-minute goal. A great play. You'll catch more of those on JVI Sports if you stick with us.
The 2017 Toronto Rock season tickets are on sale now. Lock in your seat today for as low as $195 and you won't miss a moment of the action. For more information, visit torontorock.com.
Traditions. They remind us where it all began. A time when lacrosse was more than just a game. When it was a gift from the Creator, a sacred rite, a curing ritual. Traditions. They travel through the generations, passed down from hand to hand, bringing us back to a time worth revisiting. This is our tradition. This is your passion. This is traditional lacrosse.
Jacasa Studios is a state-of-the-art analog and digital multimedia facility specializing in recording, editing, mixing, mastering, and audio restoration. Home of the SSL console from Abbey Road Studios. Come see why Snoop Dogg, Alexis on Fire, Obie O'Brien, The Sheepdog, July Talk, and so many more have all called us home. Visit JacasaMediaGroup.com for more information and rates.
Track athletics. Athletic programming is ever evolving, and trying to find good programs is getting more difficult every day. Track athletic director Colin Doyle has developed athletic programming for boys and girls based in a fun, fast-paced environment. A full slate of programs are now available for registration, including boys and girls lacrosse clinics and PA Day and holiday camps, with the first PA Day camp scheduled for October the 7th. For more information, visit TorontoRockAC.com. Extreme Threads Apparel. They offer custom sublimated team uniforms along with all your team apparel needs, specializing in unique custom items that will fit any team requirements on or off the floor. Located in beautiful British Columbia, but supplying teams around the world. Contact Extreme today for your free custom team designs for any sport and any item you may need. Customize your team with Extreme at Extreme Threads, serving the Six Nations and surrounding communities since early 2015. Full service for gasoline and diesel vehicles, featuring fully wireless handheld debit machines with tap capability to have you on your way quickly. Stop in and experience our top-notch customer service and windshield cleaning. Truly, service with a smile at Canada Fuels. The Toronto Rock Athletic Centre is pleased to present Paul Rabel Experience Live, bringing lacrosse icon Paul Rabel to Oakville to hold his first ever Canadian camp. This is the first of many unique events at the track as part of a new slate of programming offered by Track Athletics. Saturday, October 1st camp is now sold out, but there is still space in the Sunday, October 2nd camp for Pee-wee, Bantam, and Midget players. Goaltenders are also needed for both days, and they register for free. Register online today at TorontoRockAC.com.
Welcome back to the Mann Final Series. We have 2 periods of play that have finished in game number 4. We got another 20 minutes ahead, but first, I'm going to send it over to Matt Carrick, Spencer Tangway. They're standing by with Paul Gate. Guys?
Hey, thanks, Sam. Yeah, Paul Gate, a 4-time Mann Cup champion, of course, with 3 different teams. What's it like being back here at the ILA where you won a Mann Cup, of course, with Six Nations?
Well, this is a great place to be. There's a lot of tradition here in this arena, and although I didn't get to play here, I did play on the res and spent a lot of time with the people in the community. And I always enjoy coming back. In fact, I run a business here on the reservation, so it's just always great to be here and be part of the lacrosse community.
Well, there's been so much talk of this Mann Cup, of course, with them hosting it. What do you like about this 2016 Chiefs team?
Well, I think they're pretty hungry for an experienced team. They got enough young guys in there to keep everyone honest, keep the old guys working hard, and I think that's going to help them down the stretch.
Well, I know my partner, Matt Carrick, he's seen a lot of this Six Nations Chiefs team throughout the year, and then, of course, in the NLL. There's so many talented players that could really develop. And you look at Austin Stotts, only 18 years of age. What do you like about him?
Well, I like that he's got a great future ahead of him. That's what I like. I mean, I think he's going to contribute throughout the rest of this series, and he's certainly got a bright future ahead of him. There's not many guys that can come in at 18 and play in a Mann Cup and have an impact like he's had. There's only a handful over the last 100 years, so he's certainly something special.
Now, you did win a couple Mann Cups here in Ontario. Played a lot of lacrosse out in BC as well. Talk to me about, I guess, the difference between Ontario and BC, because when you look at the numbers, it's obviously a big powerhouse, Ontario, and people don't really give BC that much respect. But your thoughts on kind of the difference between the two centers?
Well, if I look back over time, they always said that the players out west tended to have better outside shots, and the players in the east were better inside. And I think that's still, a difference today. So I think when I watched some games out west last week, there was a lot of outside shooting, and these guys are all trying to score in tight, and it's working for them out east.
Outside shots, a big part of the college game. You're a Syracuse Orange alumni, you and your brother. A bunch of them down on the floor here. The guys were talking about it. What is it about that program that just keeps pumping out fantastic players?
Well, it has great tradition, when you have a program that can draw kids from Canada and from the reservation here, it's, they're going to be strong, they're going to be powerhouses, and then when they finish, they can come back and be superstars, and that, the program, it cycles like that. You bring them in and you send them out, and they go on to do great things.
Well, there's so much more lacrosse to come in this series, of course, and for these bright players that'll play in the NLL, most of them at least in the NLL for this upcoming season. As a fan, is it hard to play a fan, I guess, role now that you're not back on the floor? Is it tough to come to the building without a stick in your hand?
No, it's easy. I'm up here all the time throughout the year, and I just enjoy being here. And quite honestly, to watch lacrosse, it's fun, And do I want to be out there? Not anymore. I'm done. I've played too many games. I'm tired. I'm old. But it's fun to see the young guys come up.
Well, Paul, we thank you for your time, and once again, thanks for joining us on the JBI broadcast.
Thank you.
Welcome back to Cross Friends to the ILA. It's Game 4 of the 2016 Mann Cup. Let us know who you think should be the Thompson Brothers Lacrosse 3 stars of the game. Tweet us at JBI Video, and we will take those into consideration. And great to see Paul Gayton in the building.
Yeah.
And, he and his brother Gary, of course, besides creating a move, the air gate, which now is a staple for so many players. Just tremendous ambassadors of the game. They put so much into it, and gave so much to the game as players and now going on. So it's pretty exciting to have him here. We will have 59 seconds of 3-on-3 play, and then there's another 19 seconds after that where Owen Barker's penalty will be served. And the one thing that's DJ Sari is serving that for him. The one thing that you have to remember in a situation like that is you're not only shorthanded because he's kicked out of the game. Somebody's got to serve that penalty, Sari, which leaves you a couple of players short. And then Porter's in there with Jamieson and Stotts getting their penalties. But it does take some wear and tear on them now. Rob Williams was talking last night about one of the advantages for his team is they're young, they've got fresh legs, they can run, they can run. They're not worried about it. They think that gives them an edge the further the series goes.
Yeah.
They really need to win it tonight to avoid being down 3-1.
100%. And I think they actually would take this trade-off rather than being shorthanded for 5 straight minutes against Six Nations than take this, right? So,
yeah. Nice job by Connor Goodwin. Come up to the ball. He's running. Coates on him. The trailer is Lowen, and then the late trailer is McIntosh. They'll throw it back to him. We're back to 3-on-3 action for another 40 seconds. And now Goodwin goes to the bench, and out comes Luke Gillespie. It's a lot of talent out there for these Burrards. Sid Smith is picked. The ball bounces loose, though. Down to the crease, scores. Great play by McIntosh. They're going to say no goal. We'll have to see that one again. I'm not sure exactly what the call was.
I unfortunately didn't get a good view. The monitor was in the way, and I don't know. I definitely want to see that one again.
Smith, Randy Stotts, and Benesh talk about a load of talent up the floor, but great work by Michaud to battle for that loose ball, and then eventually it's Aaron Davis comes up with it, and Chiliano jumps out of his crease to grab it. Heads up play. Here comes Creighton Reed. He's got Lowen with him, to him, scores! So they get it back. Heads up play. What a play by Creighton Reed. You see the forward is there. It's Dan Taylor, actually, not Riley Lowen. Just see the green gloves and green shoelaces. But the forward is there. You're probably going to pass at some point. It's a matter of when you make the pass. It's critical here.
Mm-hmm. And you know what? If I think Paul Dawson, Paul Dawson.
Yeah.
I think he's better off not sliding over to Reed. Let him take that shot on his offhand, and then you're giving up. You're letting him make a shot.
Slide, not slide.
Not slide.
You mean not like stay with Reed?
Stay with Taylor.
Oh, okay.
Take away Taylor's shot.
Yeah. I thought you meant you wanted him to stay with Reed. I'm saying the same thing.
Yeah.
There's a shot down low. Chiliano stops that from Randy Stotts. I'm saying the same thing. Go over and grab Dan Taylor coming off and let Creighton Reed, the defender, take his offside shot.
Exactly. Yeah. I was agreeing with you.
Dan Dawson with the shot. That one bounces wide. 5 seconds. Jamieson will rip it into the stick of Chiliano. So everybody's back on the floor. We've got 5-on-5 action. Oh, and down goes Austin Stotts, and he is favoring his left knee, which is his good knee. He hobbles to the bench. And we see that all the time, and he is yelling at the officials from the bench. So that's probably a good sign he's not leaving the bench. We've seen him go to the dressing room over and over again. There's a cut to the net. Mallory shoots, no touch. So it's going to be Chiefs possession. 6-6. This is an exciting series. I'll tell you, for the folks who thought Six Nations was going to run away with this, and I think there were quite a few.
There was a lot,
and it is simply not happening. They may win this series 4-1. It could happen, but it is not going to be an easy 4-1 if it does. And I still think this Maple Ridge team is going to get, another win. Maybe they could win the series. I mean, it's hard to come west for the Western team to come east. That's why it hasn't happened for 30 years. But boy, Maple Ridge is showing that they can play in this series.
They just do all the little things. They do it right. They play a good team game, and they do have those guys who can put the ball in the net.
McIntosh gets by, Coates scores,
like
drives to the net, and you don't often see somebody beat Dan Coates one-on-one that cleanly, but McIntosh drives down low. And it's 7-6, the Burrards are out front, and it gets pretty quiet in here when that happens.
Yeah, I mean, this is one of those runs that we've seen now for the Burrards. Hasn't really happened in this game so far, but you just see, like you said, Dan Coates completely bites on that feed, gets burned badly. And McIntosh makes no mistake out in front, puts it right by Dylan Ward. And McIntosh has been
he's been so good.
Unbelievable for this team right now.
He's a great leader as well as a great player. And the thing, so many times when you see that, the defender playing the man over the top, here comes Symes ducking down. He thinks he has help, and you wonder if Coach thought he had some help there and turned and saw he didn't. There's a moving pick. The ball will go the other way. And the Chiefs are arguing for a delay of game call. You're just not going to see that, I don't think, called at this point. Smith gives it over to Dawson, back to point. The three righties have a touch. Now it's Jamison's turn. Austin Stotts grabs on to Aaron Davis. Davis gives Stotts a little tap. Fresh 30 after the save by Chiliano. Dan Dawson directing traffic, still directing traffic. Pick from Point behind the net to Smith. Point has it, fires, misses, but it comes out to Jamison. Point's got it. He's going to let it go again. No, he's going to give it off to Dane Smith. And then he's flattened by Michaud, who's going to pick up the loose ball. No, he's not. Bounces away. Austin Stotts gets it. Fresh 30. They're going to say the Burrards possessed it. Stotts is double teamed and somehow gets it out. That is a great play by the youngster. Now he goes to the net. Passes it to Jamison. Duck cuts. Ball pops loose. Dawson tries to get it. It's scooped up eventually. Dane Smith is all over Clay Miller. Miller goes down, loses it. Stotts with the check. Stotts tries to grab it. That one's knocked away. Stotts loses his stick. Now Miller's got it. And finally, some space, and Luke Gillespie will run the floor.
And they may not have picked up the ball there, but they chewed up 20 seconds off this shot clock here. Good job by the forwards of the Chiefs to play a little defense.
McIntosh is going to let it rip again. That one comes out. Sid Smith has it. The shot clock is about to expire. That's why McIntosh just let it fly. Now the ball is loose. And Smith once again comes up with it. Another excellent game for the captain. And Brody Merrill will just wait for forward Briar Jonathan to come and get it.
Chiefs with a great possession there on offense, getting a ton of chances, really trying to feed the ball to Point there. We'll see if they try to do that again.
That ball gets away. It's kind of swatted at by Michaud. Now he's trying to knock it loose. It does pop free. It's on the ground. Nobody around it except for Kevin Reed, who will pass it ahead. Zach Porter. Goodwin's going to wait for some help. McIntosh running down low. Gets it over to Lowen, who's going to cut to the middle. A little spin move. Great coverage by Sullivan. So it's going to be a shot from the top by Goodwin with the shot clock running down. Lowen gets it. Still 3 to shoot. Gets it off. Save, but it bounces out. The Burrards were heading for the bench, though.
Look to see what Six Nations try to do on offense here. See if they'll try to force the ball to, well, Point's not out there, so they're going to have to try something new.
Oh, there's a pick and roll play. Oh, what a goal. Randy Stotts takes the pass from Dane Smith, drops it, but picks it up and tucks it home. And sometimes when you kick off in football and the guy flubs the ball, it throws everyone's timing off. I think that might be what happened there. Stotts drops the ball, picks it up, and it kind of threw off Frankie Chiliano, who normally is all over that kind of move, but it just gets by him. We've got a 7-7 tie.
We'll see the replay coming up right here. Dane Smith with a great feed. Stotts can't handle it, and like you said, it kind of throws off Chiliano. He's out there ready to step out and realizes he drops it, so he has to get back up, and Stotts, with that much space, that much time, he usually puts those chances away.
Kevin Reed grabs it, but a trio of Chiefs all over, and the ball pops free. Paul Dawson will hand it off. There's Point that you were talking about before, and he'll just leave it on the turf for Randy Stotts to come back up the floor. 6.5 minutes in, and the Chiefs will try and get the lead back. Miller knocks that one away. Stotts on the forecheck, but Miller will run away from him. Just a tiny little pick there from DJ Surrey. And they'll head up the floor. 16 on the shot clock as the Burrards finally get all their forwards out. Taylor hits the cutting low, but it just skips off his stick. Davis runs onto it, shovels it back. Mallory will have to chase it down. 4 seconds, gets the pass off. Ward will have to make the save, but it's a pretty easy one. And he'll give it to David Brock. Tough guy, David Brock.
Yeah, I like that little.
I like it. He looked a little taken aback by it.
He did.
Dane Smith, pass across. Briar Jonathan was wide open in front, but just missed it. And Chiliano will give it off to Colton Porter. The crowd is getting back into this one. We said how the two Burrards goals kind of quieted them. Randy Stotts has them fired up again. LeClaire watching Symes, jump shot, saved by Ward. Taylor gets the ball. He battles with O'Connor, shoots right into the chest, and Taylor is down.
Billy D finishes check there. Taylor on the receiving end of that, and usually when Billy D drops a shoulder, the recipient isn't going to be too happy about that. He's
Randy
a big
Stotts,
boy.
Yeah, the most recent goal scorer. Hits Dawson, scores. Dan Dawson. Somehow, I mean, you can't miss him. He's 6'6". He's one of the best players ever, and he somehow finds the time and the place to cut to the middle and be wide open.
First goal for Dawson in the game, already 3 assists. Just continues to climb that Man Cup list. And I know you said it the other day, he's sneakily, quietly one of the greatest players to play the game, and especially in this indoor game. See this replay right here. It's a nice little bump, not even a full pick. He kind of just gives it the little slip pick, bumps him on the way, and catches it and puts it home. And I mean, you throw a ball up in the air, there's a good chance Dan Dawson is bringing it down. That play yesterday where he faked out that pick when they were ragging the ball, my God.
Yeah. And, you know, such a small thing, but the little slip pick as he's taking the step, so he's sending the defender in one direction while he goes the other, is just enough separation. There's a great battle by Goodwin, but the ball is stripped by Sid Smith. He was our third star yesterday, and I'll tell you, he could be up there again today. Irving's having words with him. They have a nice chat, and the ball goes the other way. There's Dawson with it. Dane Smith, he's going to shoot, but he's flattened instead. Ball pops free. Austin Stotts, the push in the back. That's going to be a possession call. And Briar Jonathan is going after Zach Porter. Porter's got a safety valve. He'll go to the guy off the bench. Mallory up to Davis. Davis one-on-one with LeClaire. Drives him low. Good work by the youngster. Still a junior as he played for the Arrows this year. He will be protected by the Arrows, by the Chiefs, I'm sure, for next season. You can see how much they like him, trusting him to play in the Man Cup. He is a big, solid body, defensive end in football, in Canadian University football, and just a wrecking ball of a defensive end. And he is solid, solid, solid. Chiefs setting up at the other end of the floor now. We're nearing the midpoint. Dawson shoots, save, bounces out. Kevin Reed has it, double team. He's going to pull it back down. Now he makes the pass. Burrard's taking a while to get up into the offensive zone. Here comes Symes on the run. 15 left on the shot clock. He's looking to McIntosh. Now he'll get it to him. McIntosh shoots, foot save, comes out. Goodwin's going to be the first man there. Can he get it with 3 Chiefs around him? Still battling. Now Taylor helps out. It's Paul Dawson slips in to grab the Lucy. And here comes Brody Merrill. Next whistle, next stoppage will be the break. Austin Stotts with it. To his brother Randy. Here comes Dane Smith again. He and Billy D are cousins. A lot of family here, as you'll see if you go to the MSL website. Help us hit that 500,000 view mark. Go check it out.
Please do.
3 seconds left. Austin Stotts flicks it behind him, hits the ceiling, and we're going to take the break. I'm Steven Stamp with Pat Gregoire. This is JVI Sports Network's presentation of Game 4 of the 2016 Mann Cup.
Ohsweken Speedway's 21st season has been the biggest so far, and we're not even close to being done. It's almost here again. 2 days, over 60 cars, and $12,000 US to the winner, plus $1,000 if you can qualify for the A. It's the 12th annual Canadian Sprint Car Nationals, September 16th and 17th. Ticket and camping reservations for all major events can now be purchased by calling 519-717-0023 or logging on to OhswekenSpeedway.com. We'll see you at the races.
This Mann Cup broadcast is brought to you by Six Nations Minor Lacrosse. Six Nations Minor Lacrosse is a proud supporter of the Six Nations Chiefs. Six Nations Minor Lacrosse has over 500 registers, including players, coaches, trainers, including Zone 9 Midget A champions. The success of the organization is attributed to many volunteers in the community. Six Nations Minor Lacrosse is proud to support, encourage, and support the Creators Game.
Berard's setting up. Oh, there we go. That's the third time I tried, and we are off, though. Back underway, and the Berards get a chance. Shots on goal so far, if you're wondering, and some of you I know are, registering is 45-39 in favor of the Six Nations Chiefs. Frankie Chiliano's been great again. They won't get one there, as Jamison tried to go in, wound up in the crease, and the Berards will come back the other way, coming up to the final 9 minutes. Pass down low. McIntosh with it. He has been absolutely dynamite tonight, as he has all series. There's a shot from the outside. That one stopped off the stick of Gillespie. Dylan Ward's been pretty sharp when he's had to as well. Brock has it. Double team. Calmly steps away from that one. Ryan Benesh carrying the ball up the floor. It comes up to Ryan Benesh again. He's going to run down low. That one cuts into the middle. Stotts with a shot, but doesn't get through. And Zach Porter will start things up the other way. Here comes Jarrett Davis. Now, we've been bringing you all these games free and live on JVI Sports Network's YouTube channel. McIntosh almost with his 4th goal of the game. There's a shot from Lowen. That one goes wide off a defender. Davis down to McIntosh, comes in. Oh, what a save by Dylan Ward. And McIntosh is flattened by John Sullivan, and he's slow to get up. Here come 4 Chiefs. Leclerc with the ball, passes across. That one's off of Chiliano. Huge save, and Craig Point can't believe it. Ethan O'Connor will track it down. We're pleased to bring you free live coverage of the Mann Cup. We need sponsors to keep doing it. We do not have one for tomorrow night. So as of right now, we cannot bring you Game 5. Please do jump on board, direct message. You can email Gary Morrison of JVI. Go on the JVI Twitter page, get in touch with him that way. There's a shot by Jamison. Not Morrison, by Jamison. But there was a moving pick. Here comes Creighton Reed. The email is GaryWebcast@jvi.com. Gmail.com. What am I thinking? GaryWebcast@gmail.com. Going down low is Taylor. Mallory cuts to the net. He's checked by Coach. Coach loses his stick. See if they can take advantage of it. Taylor spins, passes it over, shot. That one's swallowed up by Ward off the stick of Goodwin.
Dylan Ward really stepping up in this third period. He's been playing great all game, but there's been some huge saves by him in the later part of this game.
Chiefs taking their time to set it up. Smith now over to Benesh. He's going to shoot, pulls it down instead. He's got Porter all over him. Randy Stotts on his offside. Dane Smith wants the ball, gets it, drives down low, jab step, tries to go back down. Stotts will get it. 3 seconds left on the shot clock. Clay Miller checking him. Smith hits the backside of the mesh. That's not a shot on goal, so the shot clock expires. Here come the Berards. 6.5, lots of time left. They don't have to start pulling Frankie Chiliano, but they have to think about it in a few minutes. Can they get one before then? Pass across to Taylor. Davis tries to cut but is knocked down, so Taylor hangs on to it. So many cutters for this Berards team. The Chiefs, a remarkable job of staying with them. Big pick by McIntosh. Davis to Taylor. Taylor's going to shoot. Foot save. Bounces straight out to Davis. Fresh 30. At some point, you think these Chiefs defenders have to get tired, but they are looking very resilient. Slowing down now, taking their time, setting things up. McIntosh, pass across, Taylor has it. Gillespie trying to get free of Ethan O'Connor, who had a bit of a stick there for a while. McIntosh takes the pass, 9 to shoot. Jeremy Thompson on him. Thompson staying with him. McIntosh fires a little bit wide. No touch, and the shot clock will expire. There's Kevin Reed on the floor as a nice job by one of the Burrards to get off and get the defenders out, but the Chiefs have the ball now. Dan Dawson looking around to see what he's got. Jamison, pass across. Big pick. Creighton Reed wondering what was going on there. Or Travis Irving, sorry. Point gets the shot, shaved by Chiliano. And Kevin Reed gets it, almost picked off by Dane Smith. Wrap check, gets it away from Porter. Great body position by Zach Porter. Kicked away, Colton Porter comes up with it. How can you play effectively when you're 5'7", 150 pounds or so? Just like that by Zach Porter against the big, fast, strong Dane Smith. That's a great play by Porter. Here comes Mallory, ducks it down, shoots, save. He was in the crease. But Ward made the save anyway. Brock is breaking out. Michaud's on the floor though, and now again, a Burrard gets out to work on reverse transition. There's Stotts up top, gets a pick. Pass across to Point, who made the pick. It bounces out off Chiliano to Dawson, a fresh 30. 4:17 to go. Stotts, checked by Michaud, tries to get by Michaud. Good job on him. That one may have been tipped. Benesh almost got it. DJ Sari had a handful of Benesh's jersey. That ball gets away down the floor, and the Chiefs will take possession. They've got 20 seconds. 20, now just 12 seconds as they get their offense out there. Austin Stotts is fighting two guys off to try and pick them both in the middle. And now Dawson shoulders his way in on Michaud. Michaud's pushing back. It's too late for Briar Jonathan, so he just puts it down. And Creighton Reed drops the ball. And Frankie Chiliano needs his gear fixed as his jersey has come up over his arm pad. Needs to have it tugged down. That, you may call it a Canadian timeout, but that's a legit call. You want that jersey in the proper position so you can move effectively. You don't want anything feeling a little funny in this kind of position.
Yeah, and you never know the way that if he makes an arm save, he doesn't have that jersey to stop the ball. That might trickle through. Goalies, they like to have as much equipment as possible to make sure they're stopping that ball.
Ward was already at the bench getting a drink of water, so Chiliano goes to join him. Man, this is a great lacrosse game. This is a terrific series. Man, it's just something. I almost lost for words. It has been exciting, physical. We talked about how things were escalating, the intensity and and both teams have played pretty smart. We had that little stretch, obviously the 5-minute major by Barker and some shenanigans after, but it's been a pretty well played and well officiated game and series really. Gillespie steps out. Brock gets a hold of him, gets away. Davis grabs it, 17 on the shot clock as McIntosh faces off with Merrill. Picked by Davis. They go down to Mallory. There's a cut by Taylor, shot by Mallory, just misses. Goes up into the ceiling, and Mike Mallory just looks up to the sky. He can't believe, because he knew he had some open space for that bounce.
Yeah, it looked like that ball almost had eyes, almost found the back of the cage, just taking a little bit too much of a hop and hits the ceiling.
Yeah, he didn't miss by a whole lot. Comes over to Jamison. Two-man game with Stotts. A big pick, the shot. Chiliano has it, it rolls through. Didn't get very far, though. It was right underneath him. And Colton Porter comes ahead. Here we go. 2.5 minutes to go. Jarrett Davis trying to open some space. He's going to shoot off the post. Jarrett Davis inches from tying it. Lowen in the corner. What's he going to do? Starts to go low, comes up high. Thompson on him. Lowen shoots, saved by Ward. McIntosh flattened by Billy D. Smith, and McIntosh is looking sore. He's grabbing his shin, gets his stick. They have the ball. He'll jump up and play. That is the lacrosse player for you. Symes shoots, saved by Ward. It gets away from him. Goodwin gets it, fresh 30. 2 minutes to go.
Another huge
Now
loose ball by
Chiliano goes
Goodwin.
to the bench. Taylor, Symes, sub shot. Oh, he's not. And then Symes is knocked down, still swats it away. Ward tries to get it, and a crease call, and a good one as the ball was in the crease. Ward was playing, and McIntosh tries to knock it away. Chiliano's back in his net. As of right now, again, we still do not have a sponsor for tomorrow night. We have to bring you this game. Please, somebody hop on. I don't mean to beg. That sounded a little. That was a little pathetic. If you can help, get in touch with us. We would love for you to sponsor tomorrow night's game and make it available to the thousands of Canadian lacrosse fans and lacrosse fans around the world. I've heard from friends in England, Czech Republic, Australia, Finland, who are watching this game. Denmark. Everyone around the world wants to see it. Let us show you tomorrow night. But right now, we've got to finish this one up. 6-on-5, a minute 10 to go. McIntosh, high pass, gets away from Taylor, but he tracks it down. He's going to shoot, 3 on the clock. It bounces out. Lowen almost had it. It goes into Ward. He's just letting it sit there. 56 seconds, and Mallory will jump in and touch the ball. We start play up again into the final minute. Chiliano back in the net. Sid Smith, he's taking his time. Lowen pressing him. There's Jamieson to get it. Austin Stotts is waved away and just runs up the floor. Jamieson says, I can handle this. Somebody come to the other side and help. Dane Smith has it. 12 on the shot clock, 36 now on the game clock. Stotts one-on-one with Kevin Reed. Shoots, saved by Chiliano. The quick little stutter step by Stotts. And 28 seconds left. Chiliano does not pick the ball up. Smart play, we've seen that all series now. And timeout to the Burrards. Chiliano is looking a bit tired. Rob Williams said last night after the game when Neil Stevens asked him, the veteran scribe and NLL Hall of Fame media member said, Chiliano's facing a lot of shots. Is he going to wear out? Rob Williams said, he's young. He can do it. He's fine all series. There they are, the split screen as we see both benches getting ready for the final 28.2 seconds of play. And now, normally you wait until the last few seconds. I am always an advocate in this situation. Shoot when you have a chance. I'm sure the Burrards will. You can get a rebound. Who cares if they score an empty netter? If you don't score, they're going to win anyway. So shoot when you've got a chance. McIntosh will start with it. He has been brilliant tonight. Can he create something, make it happen? Jarrett Davis and Mike Mallory on the right side. Taylor, Gillespie, and Lowen on the left. Billy D. Smith, Merrill, Paul Dawson, Sid Smith, and Coates out there for the Chiefs. Taylor up top. Pressure. Lowen, pass across. It's knocked down. They go after it. Smith gets it. Grab check attempt. Billy D. Smith is running for it. Jarrett Davis goes for it. He scores. 9-7. Looks like we will have the same score for the same team as last night, and another fantastic lacrosse game. Billy D. Smith is getting the congratulations. We said he came in last night, made a big difference. He makes it again tonight.
And you've got to love that. You've got to love seeing Billy D. Smith chugging up the floor, sees that yawning cage, puts it home, gives his team the insurance, and yeah, exactly like what we said. He jumps into this lineup, and this Six Nations defense has been completely different, and a huge reason is because of Billy D. Smith. He brings that edge with his toughness, his grittiness, and he's such a smart defender. He makes everyone else on the floor feel so much more confident, and then it's great to see him rewarded with a goal there. Yeah. Even though it's an empty netter, he'll take that.
Oh, he will. Michaud and Paul Dawson pushing and shoving. Irving's going to wander over and have a chat with him, but that'll do it. The final score, 9-7. Stay with us. We'll have our Thompson Brothers Lacrosse 3 stars. We'll have Sam McDade down on the floor talking to a member of the victorious Six Nations Chiefs who, boy, they take a stranglehold on this series, but could the games be any closer? Not a whole lot. Overtime last night, an empty netter to make it a 2-goal margin tonight. Boy, we got to bring you tomorrow night. Somebody hop on board. We need a sponsor.
Absolutely. I mean, You gotta tip your cap to this Maple Ridge team. I think they have opened a ton of eyes. A lot of people had these guys counted out before the season even started. I still don't think they're out of this. They're down 3-1, but boy, oh boy, have they given a great series.
We've seen the Burrards come back in many cases this year. We've seen them be down and come back. McIntosh rightly awarded the player of the game for Burnaby, for Maple Ridge, the Burrards, for Six Nations. Dan Dawson, I'm down with that.
Yep.
He was among the guys we were talking about, but he gets it from Rusty Dockstader, the convener of the tournament, of the series. And, we've seen Six Nations come back from down 3-0. McIntosh and Dawson having a chat. McIntosh hands the stick to Dan Dawson. And now Kevin Reed and Billy D. Smith having words. Paul Dawson's waving everyone away. Billy D. still chatting with them. One of the Burrards coaches getting into it. And some booing from the stands and somebody yelling loser, which is really, really inappropriate. Just so wrong. They may have lost this game. They're definitely not losers. They're intense. We'd see it from both sides here, and I just love the effort that both of these teams have brought. And the coaches out there, Rob Williams and Rich Kilgore, having a chat with Rusty Dockstader. They have a little handshake. They'll go their separate ways. The Burrards not out of it. Certainly a strong game, a strong hold for the Six Nations Chiefs, but man, tomorrow night's going to be something. It could end tomorrow, but even if it does, it's been a great series, but it may well not. Sam McDade is on the floor with Ryan Benesh.
Thanks, guys. That's Ryan with Ryan Benesh. Ryan, first off, let's talk about the incredible series that you've been having so far. You're in the points leading chart there in top 3. You had 2 goals in tonight's game. Let's talk about that and what really worked and sparked for you.
I mean, it's a whole offensive group. It's not one guy. I'm fortunate enough to get some good looks, get some good shots. So I'm not going to take any of the credit. It's my teammates, and I'll always say that.
Well, really humble answer. Let's talk a little bit about the scoreboard and how close it was this game. And it did go to extra minutes last game. At any point were you worried about it going into overtime?
No, not really. I think Wardo and our defense buckled down, and they stepped up huge in the last couple minutes there for us. And then, Billy running down and getting that empty netter just, kind of lifted our spirits even more.
I was just going to ask you how that felt there. Potentially Mann Cup champions in tomorrow's Game 5. How does that feel? Potential. I don't want to jinx it for you guys, but how would that feel?
I don't know. I'll tell you after. I mean, we got to win first, so I'm not going to answer that yet. But, hopefully tomorrow I'll have that chance.
Well, thanks so much for talking with me. I'll let you go celebrate with the guys. We'll see you tomorrow in Game 5. Let's send upstairs to Steven Stamp, Pat Gregoire, who I have a feeling might just tell me I jinxed it for them, but I think he's just happy to talk about it. Guys, go ahead.
No, I think it's okay. I don't think Sam's jinxed anything.
No.
I don't even believe in it, but great answer by Ryan Benesh. The third star of the game, Dylan Ward. Honestly, we filled in. We have to send it over with a couple minutes left. We wrote winning goaltender. They were both fantastic. Chiliano was great. Dylan Ward gets the win. He was also great. Randy Stotts, a tremendous effort.
Two goals, two assists,
and all over the floor for him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I thought Randy Stotts had a great game. There's, like we said so many times, there's so many other players that are definitely in this, and the first star wasn't a part of the winning team, but Ben McIntosh. I mean, if it wasn't for Ben McIntosh, I don't think Maple Ridge is even close in this game, and it's because of him. Just, he's such a dynamic player. We've seen him score in the inside. We've seen him set up plays. We've seen him bump, pick, and rolls. We've seen him, and one thing that he's really upped his game in this series is his outside shots, ripping shots right by Dylan Ward, and he was fantastic tonight.
Those are your Thompson Brothers Lacrosse 3 stars for tonight. Hopefully we'll be with you tomorrow night. Now, just to let you know, the reason we've been doing this with sponsors is to avoid doing it by pay-per-view so that as many people as possible can see it. We're well over 16,000 views of this Mann Cup. People want to see it. We want to bring it to you. So hopefully someone will jump on to sponsor it, and we'll be here tomorrow night. I'm Steven Stamp with Pat Gregoire. For all of us here at JVI Sports Network, we'll hopefully see you tomorrow night. It should be another great game.